Alrighty, hey again out there. We're on part number 95, and we're gonna be just playing Minecraft today. I don't have anything particular in mind. Well, that's kind of a lie. I want to try and maybe do a little bit of the mountains today, and then I suppose we can go get the frog light all started. But if you missed last time, we pretty much hit every single new 1.19 feature possible. And we might actually go back to another ancient city today because I'm just thinking about it. But quick little news update in terms of Java Edition or in general. Um, it turns out to address like the non-renewability issue that allays have, obviously, because if you find an allay and it dies, you don't ever get a new one back. There's no way to make new more. In any given Minecraft world, there's a finite number of allays. Well, they're similar to like shulker duplication, where like you can do other like things like the shulkers hit themselves with their own bullets and they duplicate, where they literally make a clone of themselves. There's something similar you can do for allays now in a new like snapshot for 1.19.1, where if you have a jukebox with music in it, they'll start dancing and vibing out, and then if you give them an amethyst shard, it'll basically duplicate them, and then they go on a 2.5-minute cooldown. So that means, once I bring back those allays that we've discovered in the past, and hey, I'll be able to make quite a number of cool things with it, so that's cool. As I said, today we want to do some frog stuff, but we did grab everything else that I've ever wanted. So let's just maybe get done with the mountain range for now, and then I want to pop over into a another world to test some stuff out. Hey, welcome Bean, how you doing? I'm just getting ready to hopefully finish more of this mountain range, if not all of it, because I'm tired of having to look at this, so out it goes. It's been a while. Let's see, other side, 10 blocks down. Alrighty, 10 blocks down. So we'll go like 14. I need to check one other thing real quick to see the distance. 190 to 179, so I go 11 down. Hey Meru, Frenchman, how you doing? I'm getting ready to just... Oh, and I got a swift sneak now, by the way, Meru, so now I'm epic and cool, and I can actually move really fast again on sneaking. I mean, it's just a little bit slower than walking, but for like bridging and scaffolding and whatnot, absolutely invaluable. Oh, it's pretty cool. If only I could run. And netherrack's fine, whatever. Actually, I would be using cobble anyways to some extent. We want to go down like 13 blocks, so 166. Here we go, something like that. Also, give me a moment here. I'm also going to be working on a mob switch, kind of, well, not really of my own design per se. It's complicated. Obviously, like shulker mob switches have been around for a long enough time by now, but actually getting a hold of like the 70 shulkers that you need is still kind of a pain in the ass. So what I'm focusing on trying to redo completely for this kind of stuff is seeing if I can actually make it a lot easier to get a shulker mob switch in place. So, if you wanted to make a shulker mob switch, you need like a chunk loader and then a bunch of shulkers. And the problem with getting a bunch of shulkers is that, you have to get a bunch of shulkers. And if you've ever tried moving even one, it's a very tedious thing. So to move 70 is just fucking bad. So I'm thinking what I can do is I can make a manual shulker farm at the bottom, and then using the scaffolding trick, I should be able to force them up like 30 something blocks or whatever, like way up where I can interact with them, and they all go into like a tiny little box that will house like 70 shulkers in it, or like 71 or something, just to make sure I go over. So it'll house 70 shulkers in there, and then once it's done, I can like just seal it off and then have a chunk loader, and that's literally it. So it should technically be quicker than the than using the villager like trading method that's been used, because that one's easier to do early game, but I think the shulker one, assuming this ends up working, should be easier to do late game, which could be very, very cool because, we'll basically be playing on peaceful on our base, which does actually have trade-offs, so I wouldn't do it all the time on my own base, but when I'm doing things like this where I'm just building and I don't need to go get like string or slime, that's when it would, be good to have. But if I want to obviously get string or slime from the slime and not slime, the gunpowder and the slime farm, then I'd have to leave it off. But I also need to check some other things. We're stockpiling on string here as well because I plan on bringing some more wool with me to the ancient cities, so that's kind of why I need that there. Anywho, let's just go ahead and get this fixed back up. I haven't done this in a couple of weeks, so I'm kind of forgetting what to do. Really? But if I end up making a mob switch that ends up being like, I think it's something that you could do, not factoring in the time it takes to move it from the end to the overworld. I think this is something you could put together within like an hour or two for a mob switch, instead of like multiple hours for the villager one. Because you have to wait for them to all like convert, and then you actually have to have 70 villagers, and then you have to make sure no mistakes happen during that. But mainly it's the waiting to get 70 villagers from a breeder is a problem for me, because they only make 2 like babies per day in a breeding like farm, so it takes quite a while. But I think as long as I do it correctly, I should be able to like get the mob switch done in maybe an hour or two. All it is just a bunch of shulkers in one little area, and then you have a chunk loader, and then everything's good. And I also have to learn how to use chunk loaders is my other issue too. And it's not too hard, luckily, but that is something I still need to keep in mind. I've heard talk about like lazy chunks and all that, and I need to make sure I'm doing that correctly in terms of spacing it out. And then it all has to be self-contained in like one chunk, so. Anyways, we gotta get more of this shit done. I'm looking forward to at least seeing the end of doing all this framework, so I'm tired of it personally. I mean, look how much faster that is clearing out like a strip of land like this. Like, it's all gone now. Like, normally that would have taken like probably like, 2 or 3 times the amount of time, but now it's just, quick. And if I had soul speed on my shoes, it would be even quicker on account of this being soul soil. Not that I would ever have it, because then it means I give up like feather falling. Not feather falling, I give up depth strider. Which actually, wouldn't be too bad of an idea to have a pair of like soul speed 3 boots with everything else other than depth strider. And then I bring those with me into the nether instead, since obviously water won't be too useful. Or depth strider wouldn't be useful in there at all. I might have to look into that. But I never actually got a hold of a bunch of soul speed books yet, so I wouldn't be able to do that for a while anyways. But we're just waiting for that to flow, which is going to take some time. Oh, and I should have something in here I should be able to show off for the frogs. I gotta make this stuff like 2 blocks deep, so that way I could, or maybe even deeper, just so that way I can actually swim through all this stuff. But, yeah, if we just pop up in here real quick, because I'm just waiting for that lava to flow, so I'll just pass a little bit of time. We made a little cut-through point last time for the, and also I'm going to redo some of this nether portal stuff. Both of these need to go to a nether portal on the top of the roof, and I'll just get rid of the one on the bottom of the nether, because it causes like some interference problems. But we got 4 frogs just here now, which will take some time to breed them for the moment. Because I want some more frogs. I mainly want tadpoles. There should be a 4th one. But there he is. Jumped all the way up there. This whole thing is sealed off, by the way, so it'll be pretty safe. I'm gonna take these idiots a while. One of them bred. Another one bred as well. We got 2 frog spawn, that's cool. Yeah, soul speed, I really gotta get a hold of some more of it. I got soul speed 1. I got like a soul speed 1 book somewhere. and I'd have to completely recreate I'd have to completely recreate my boots again if I wanted to, you know, have it on everything. So a little weird, but it'd be useful. I also have to go out and get netherite again if I want another pair of boots, because I'm making everything netherite all the time. But real quick, while we're back here, I want to grab the bucket of tadpole shulker box, because I need to have that. I need to, you know, be able to get tadpoles. So here we go. We got another 10 buckets. That's pretty good. Should be a nice amount. And what we'll do real quick is we'll just go ahead and pop this over in the swamp, and then we'll get back to working on the mountain. It shouldn't really be too hard. So, side note, we're on day 921. We're getting ready to go into 922 here in a moment. That's cool. We're getting really close to day 1000. We can just set it here, I guess. Well, I have to stop back in here every now and then to make sure everything's good. Because, you know, they're only useful to me when they're tadpoles and not frogs, so... But we'll go ahead and just convert this into a lava cast over here, and then, you know, go ahead and fix everything else up. But I'm gonna have to look at a YouTube tutorial to make sure, or I'll probably have to like build some part of it myself as well in a creative world, but I'm gonna have to figure out some more of the specific things with the Froglight farm. Like, do I actually need an iron golem? Can I get away with not having one? And mainly just small things like that. And also how much powdered snow I really need. But I think what I'll do is I'll line like the whole thing with like powdered snow, and like the whole floor is gonna be lined completely with hoppers and like iron trap doors. So that should actually give me enough kind of time to work with that, I guess. And here we can work on the next one in a moment. But yeah, for the Froglight farm, all I need is a ton of iron trap doors. And they don't have to be iron, but I'm gonna have them be iron anyways. But I just need a bunch of iron trap doors, bunch of hoppers. I already got the powdered snow, and then I just need to do some digging and get ready to get rid of a bunch of lava. But oh yeah, I'm thinking about adding commands to Twitch stuff as well. I know you probably weren't referring to that specifically, but either way, I still want to try and get good with Twitch. Not that it'd ever be too useful for me, but you know, why not? Like I was like I DM'd you today, you know, I'm working on like copyright stuff in terms of trying to figure out like what is and isn't okay to use for music, and like pretty much any video game soundtrack that isn't from the one you're actively playing is like a no-go. Except for probably like Undertale, maybe. But, you know, I'd have to double check that one again. But they're getting pretty good at, you know, detecting all that stuff live and in real time, so there's no more getting away with doing stuff like that. Like, the music I play is literally given out by Twitch for copyright-free audio, but I just want more, you know, options. And then there's, like, Epidemic Sound, which, you know, you pay, like, $15 a month or whatever, and you can use, like, all, like, 10,000 something tracks they have or whatever. But I have, like, all of them from what I've only heard a couple of them, so that's not for everyone, but like the ones I did hear all kind of blended together, and at that point I might as well just not even bother. Like, I'm fine with the Twitch soundtrack stuff, but it's not even playing right now actually, because I simply just I want to play some more of the Minecraft music, because when we get back into some of the newer biomes, you know, we got the new music. I'll probably have Other Side on as well at some point. An actual good song. Alright, what else? Pig Step. That means I'd have to go out and find Pig Step. Considering I hit up every damn bastion, I didn't find it then. Might have missed it when I was in it, you know. Anyways, we're almost done with this mountain again. There we go. Do that. And then we got our lava bucket. There we go. And in the near future too, I will be working on And we actually need to fly up here real quick. In the near future, I'll be working on a couple of different farms again. Wow, we are getting some huge frame drops. What the hell? I have not had that much of an issue recently. I'm just gonna close soundtrack. Yeah, we haven't. I haven't had too many frame drop issues recently, but I'm certainly getting enough right now to kind of be a pain in the ass. I wonder what the deal was with that. Might be because of all the lava flowing, but not 100% certain. But we are getting closer, so good. Yeah, there's an awful lot of. Okay, so funny thing, there's way too much shit in here. Nah, there's no real easy way to do this, so we're just gonna have to try and do it. This one is safe. The other one is not. That out. Like, see, working on stuff like this would be the perfect time to have a mob switch, because, like, even if a creeper blew me up right now, it literally was physically incapable of killing me. Between the totem and the armor, there's nothing they can do. But, you know, with a mob switch, all it does for me is just makes it a lot easier for me to, do things like this without having to worry about, oh, there's 18 fucking mobs in here that aren't very threatening, but are just a little, like, annoying. But at the same time, rushing headfirst in would be a bad idea, because, you know, if I did get hit by a creeper, then it would be lights out instantly. Not instantly, I'd still have like 3 hearts left, but certainly not something I'd like to try and risk. Alright, what the fuck is lagging my PC out? Give me a minute. Oh, it's Java. It's taking up a lot of my memory. Holy shit, yeah. Good god. Yeah, Minecraft uses a lot more memory than I thought, but even then, it shouldn't be, like, that big of an issue, though. Might restart my PC like sometime after this stream to make sure that's all taken care of. What do we want to toss? There we go. We'll do something like that. And then the last actual important thing is we need to fly up here and go ahead and get rid of all this scaffolding. So let's just go ahead and do that. We're gonna let it fall a little bit. Don't break my neck by accident. If I do die, it'll probably be to like an elytra, like fucking mistake. That's already what's cost me like 3 totems, so I wouldn't doubt it at this point. There we go. And now what we can do is just simply add out here. I should have another stack, yeah, okay. We'll go ahead and head out here, do this next lava cast. And then we need to go check on the frog spawn real quick, as I've been completely neglecting them for the past like 10 minutes. And obviously, you know, frogs aren't too useful, it's the tadpoles we want. Because we want to go actually like raise them in the separate biomes to go get the different colors of frog. Alright, so we're gonna pop over and take care of that real quick. Should be pretty good. Hopefully I make it in time. Oh, only one of them actually hatched, which is perfect. So that means the other one will be due very soon. In fact, it literally just hatched, so right on the money with that one, huh? Anywho, we're just gonna go ahead and take a couple of water buckets here. There we go. We want pretty much a full bucket of, or not a bucket, full like shulker box of tadpoles, so this won't exactly do us anything too good for right now. Were you already out? No, we're not. Okay, good. There are 3. And as far as I can see, we are actually, we got all of them, so I'm gonna go ahead and move some stuff back around in my inventory for a little bit. Well, I have extra of in my inventory that just wasn't here. Oh, it's a water bucket. I have 2 extra water buckets in here. Let's see. That's a nice little chunk. We want like 21 of them, so this isn't actually all that we're gonna need. Ooh, some new stuff. Cool. Those 2, and then 3rd, and then we should have a 4th one. That's just kind of out and about somewhere. Certainly ain't there. He couldn't have gotten out. There's 3. Not up here. There's a chance he might have gone into the nether, because I hadn't blocked that up quite yet. Where the fuck? They don't die from anything in particular. So, where? Where the hell are they? They didn't get stuck in a cocoa bean. Nope, I, seem to have lost an entire frog by accident. That's a little goofy. Oh well. Yeah, no, we're just missing a frog. What the fuck? They don't die. When you breed them like that, they don't despawn though, right? I'm fairly certain they don't despawn. Probably. Oh, here he was. He was all the way back in this corner, this little fucking moron. Damn. Yeah, come on, let's go. I have to seal this up too. This was never used for anything. Yeah, it was too late for this other one here. Yeah, I already bred him too late, so that one was a waste as well. Oh well. But yeah, I got some more tadpole spawn while we're working on this at least. That's good. I guess let's just go ahead and get back to it. Add finish converting. So we can go ahead and go and light up the stuff on the bottom. And then we can go back up top and continue. That scaffold, yeah. Yeah, see, stuff like that is what I didn't particularly want. Luckily, they're not too destructive, but it certainly still is a little annoying. There we go. We're getting closer. Also, it seems like scaffolding, as long as you're flying up, seems to be like some great, like, unholy safety net in terms of just, like, I've never crashed my head into a ceiling here just flying straight up into scaffolding is all I'm saying. So it's definitely might be a coincidence, but at the same time, there might be some merit to that. Baby-proof your roofs. Let's just go ahead and tuck away a little bit of that. There we go. That arrow just despawned right in front of me. Cool. And we got a little bit of cobble. Alrighty. And then my game lagged. That scared me a little bit. Alright, we are currently at 156. We need to drop down another 14 to get to 142. And we need to make sure that we keep going down on it. There we go. Give me a moment here. Let me replace this and I'll go ahead and read what you typed. Imagine saying, oops, couldn't be me. I might go look for another ancient city today. I'm thinking about it. It was fun the last time, and because I actually had like night vision and I had wool, so I was like completely like prepped and ready for it, but might try it without wool or something today, who knows. Either way, I still have enough backup options in case I trigger a warden, so luckily I don't have too much death to worry about anymore. I still do have to worry a little bit because since I am fighting a whole ass warden, so. There we go. And I fucked up that was probably why I had my render distance up so high as well. Is this place is getting so big now you literally cannot even see like the other side of the mountain range at all from this height, so not from this height, but from this distance, I guess, so. Oh well. Luckily the warden won't be too big of a deal for now. I might genuinely like just try and like spawn one in and then see how long I can dodge it or if I can dodge it. But I won't be fighting it for a while at the very least. On account of it, you know, being something I really don't want to mess with. Oh, I feel like for these parts I should probably use glass instead of cobble. That'll probably save me in terms of having to deal with some stuff, because there'll always be daylight flowing through. Oh, we're going to let that flow down, and in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and head on over back to the frog place and see what we got. I guess I can have a little bit of scaffolding and rise up out of here. I just don't want it to be too close to my base, so that we won't get some stuff jumping over. Yeah, there we go, that's fair. There we go, it's a fair distance. Alrighty, so now we can jump into here for right now until I figure out a better alternative. No tadpoles yet? Nope. Cool. We should be able to probably use some of this soul sand to block up this little area after we get this idiot out of here. And I'm gonna need to make, or not make, I think I should have about half a stack of leads already, but I'm gonna need to make sure that I got plenty of leads for frog wrangling and all that, because we're gonna want quite a lot of them. But yeah, we need a ton of leads and we need a ton of slime balls in the nether too to make sure. Well, not really slime balls in the nether, but I will have to use them to lure these guys to somewhere that I actually want them. So we get those two. We got a third one, and then the fourth one is here. Where's the fucking... There he is. Those ones bred. These ones are still trying to figure it out. They figured it out. And they got it. Alrighty, cool. We'll pop back in here soon enough and check on the first one that hatched, which this guy is just sitting right on top of. Cool. Oh, anyways, go ahead and take these. Keep one of those for lava. And that one can go. Alrighty. I should have a whole shulker box of buckets that I can go steal from a little later, so we'll have to do that in a little bit. Touch the floor, good. Alrighty. Water bucket. And we can take something like this, that, and then we could add a little bit more scaffolding. I want to go down another 14, so we want to go to 130. Now we might run into that same other issue where we're not making enough distance to go down like this far every time, which is a little bit of a problem because I don't want it to look too wacky. So we might have to start making the decline like a little bit like more gradual. So instead of going down like 12 blocks, we might have to go down 8 and then down 6 and then 4 and, you know, kind of keep draining it down a little bit better each time. So I guess we can get rid of this stuff for now. Not that it really matters. We could probably get rid of it altogether at this point, which we'll do after we get this one set up. There we go. Yeah, that's got me all fucked up. I keep getting some lag spikes for whatever reason. Like, again, like, what is going on? There's not that much to even load. I didn't even get lag spikes when I had my render distance way up high. Like, it's down by 10 chunks, and it's not, you know, it didn't, like, stutter. It was, like, consistently lower, but it didn't stutter. Now all of a sudden it's having a stuttering problem. Like, again, what is that? Why the fucking dips? Again, it stopped. It's definitely because of me using an elytra. Gotta be, because I didn't really have that problem walking around. Hmm. Well, luckily these guys are incredibly slow. Like, mentally slow. But then again, I might be a little bit slower sometimes, so who knows. Anywho, they're dead. That's great. I'll have to sleep here in a moment. Here we go, and we should have our good old scaffolding box right here. And then we'll sleep, because it's nighttime and stuff can still spawn outside. We're on day 924 now, that's cool. Another 76 until we're on day 1000. I should hopefully have a grand majority of the terraforming done by that point, so look forward to that, I guess. I can't guarantee it because it's just going to be a massive project again, but I should hopefully be able to get most of it done. There we go, so this one's all cleared out again. Now all we gotta do is go pour water on top of this one. And I also need to go check on the frogs again. Alrighty, cool. So that's at like 104 down there, by the way. We're at 132, and we probably have another like 2 to 4 of these left to build. Probably 4, I'd say. So 28, we're going down by 7 blocks in total now. So we probably need to tone it. So we need to go down there. It doesn't need to be exact. I just want the rough shape of it to be like close. But obviously we will be terraforming when it's time. Oh, we have a lot of tadpoles here. We need to stop what we're doing and get this fixed up immediately. As we have too many tadpoles, and now I have to go make more buckets. Also, these guys are a little bit of a pain in the ass to actually grab, to be perfectly honest. I should have a couple of more extra buckets. I'll steal what we can. Alright, and we still have some tadpoles in here out and about. That's actually just not quite enough. We just need a few more. Bucket, there we go. That's also where we're keeping a lot of our extra powdered snows. I think this should be... there we go. This should be enough tadpoles, but we're gonna try and just cram more into here. Just a few more. And one little one left. Oh, and actually we have a few more. So now to actually really prep for this, all we would literally have to do is, I think that was the last one here. Right, now we got our turtle buddy. So now when it's time to go work on the froglet farm, all we would have to do is put down like 7 tadpoles in each different type of like biome. And then like just wait for them to grow up into adults, and then when they grow up into adults, we just go dump them in the froglet farm at the bottom there. And then that's pretty much all we have to do. So nothing too difficult by any means. And it shouldn't take too long either. I'll take this back though. So we don't need to breed up anymore for now. We got a whole like shulker box worth pretty much. I only needed 21 by the way. Because we'll do 7 green, 7 orange, and then 7 white, and then that should be more than enough to keep up with a magma cube spawner in terms of like capacity, so shouldn't have to worry about that. Alrighty, we're gonna just pop back down here, and more shit again. There it is. Ton of shit. Like, stop lagging, bitch. Ain't nothing here. Like, seriously, I hate it when there's nothing here. Why is it like stuttering like this? I know and the farms have always been running in the background, so it's not like those existing shouldn't be causing the stuttering either. So I don't know why it's been stuttering this bad recently. It seems like it just happened today, because yesterday we were fine even after it loaded. Oh, it better not be because I loaded like 18 billion new chunks looking for a mangrove swamp. I flew like 20, basically 30,000 blocks because of diagonals. I flew like 30,000 blocks in the overworld on my way back like through. So that might have something to do with what's been happening right now. There's just a small little itty bitty chance, you know. Just a small one. Well, not my problem, I guess. It might be something else, but it definitely seems to, it likes happening a little bit more anytime there's Elytra shit happening, so. It might be an Elytra thing, might not be. That was not an Elytra thing. That might be a PC thing on my part. But I didn't, there's no way 1.19 could be that like intensive with new shit to where it lag everything, so I don't know. Oh, anyways, we'll just keep continuing here. Alrighty, what else we got? At 132, assuming we only need 4 more. That's 104. We want to go down 7 blocks each time. So we want to go down 9 because we have to readjust a little bit. So we need to go down to 123. There we go. That there. There we go, another part done. And we can probably clean up this soul sand here for right now. And yeah, finally, so the main outline of this project finally getting wrapped up here. Soon enough we can start working on some terraforming. It'll probably be something we chip away at like section by section over a little bit of time. And we'll go, we'll revert back to actual basics and go, we'll use wireframing. I just needed a lot of like the height kind of like figured out, and then we'll use some like wireframes basically to figure out the actual like shape, and then all we do is connect the like empty points between like all the frame bits, and then we should be good to go. So it shouldn't be too hard, just takes a little bit of time is all. Oh, actually it's 101, so we can, it'll be fine. And I'm planning on just leaving this intact for the time being. I might not even connect these up because it might just be cooler to have them. Like, we'll slope it a little bit, but I still want, I'm gonna probably dredge this whole river like massively and have it cut all the way through to like another ocean, or I think there's another ocean actually out that direction as well. So we'll focus on expanding this river out. And the reason I want to focus on expanding this river out is it leaves us some more options later on down the line, like way later on down the line. The big sphere over there is going to be cool and all, but If I want to have more of a base, like, scenic thing near where I live, then I need to cut down a good bit of the forest, put in a bunch more, like village stuff here, maybe another village stuff here, like maybe we do, like, a swamp village, normal village stuff, and then this river would connect all the way back to another ocean, and then obviously connects up to here. So we'll figure it out after enough time. It's just more food for thought for the moment. Because I don't really plan on doing any of this like all like straight away. See, that's not a good time to lag. I may not have died to anything there, but that's like quite possibly one of the dumbest times to lag, in fact. I do not like seeing that. Anywho, go down another 9. And we'll go ahead and get this done. So we need to go more towards this direction. Go down another 9, brings us to 114. And then that would only leave 1. We'll go down 7. So then it'll only be like a 5 block drop. So we're at 125. We're at 125 up there. We need to go down to 118. And block down. Anyways, go there. There we go. Cool. Oh, I'm thinking about building some like older like 2012 redstone again in terms of like piston doors, hidden stuff, all that kind of shit, because we got skulk sensors now. So I want to try maybe incorporating some more redstone-y elements into my base at some point. And that's another thing I want to talk about too. In terms of a base, I have no base. The things that we're working on, like the village and the sphere, those are more projects for like aesthetic or just to look cool. But I myself don't live in that village. I don't live in that sphere. I live in that like stone part of like, you know, that kind of village area, but I don't actually live in the village. There's a very like separate distinction between the actual village and my actual base. And you know, I kind of want to change, well, not change that to make it like where there's no distinction, but I want to actually work on the base part of my base, you know, where you know, I actually have like a fucking place to live in. Like we got cool rooms that's decorated. I have a much cleaner storage system, or you know, things of that nature. And it also is good practice for interior design. Like you get my point. That I forgot to cover that up. Oops. I think that was going to be an issue, but here we go. Anyways, we'll go ahead and just dump back. Oh, we don't even need to dump anything back, so it burned a little bit. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and pour in our water up top. But yeah, I want to actually start working on a proper base part of my base to live in better. But I haven't exactly done that in a long time, so might as well, right? But anyways, we're almost done with the main thing for today, and it is not cool. Okay, it's not very accurate. You know, I landed on that too, and I held shift, but I guess I didn't hold it enough. Anyways, it only did half my health, that's fine. We're at that point in time again where I can't safely jump that, so underpearling it is. Alrighty. Again, I'm gonna go down 7 so we can go down. No, actually. Oh, I might have misinputted. Go down 7. Focus it. We'll go down 10. There we go. It's gonna look a little goofy, but as long as it's like kind of roughly the correct height, we won't really worry about it too much, to be perfectly honest. Only one more, and it's only going to be a partial one as well, so that's great. Because that means we're finally wrapping up with this, so we only have this smaller gap to fill in. I still need to actually pick out a dedicated block palette because it needs to be somewhat easy to get in extremely large quantities, and it needs to look pretty on a large scale. There are some kind of mountains that look good on a smaller scale and some that look better on a much larger scale because you won't be like right up in them to like really be able to pick out like every single like difference and like flaw. So it's better to do a lot like better things with that. I don't know how to explain it, but our block palette that we choose is going to be very important. And I've talked about it in the past. I think red and normal terracotta, not orange, but normal, maybe orange. I think those would be good. Granite, moss, maybe. Some other kind of like greenery things as well, kind of on the tops, but I guess some stony bits too. They don't all have to be the same thing. I think what we're going to focus on first more so is basically shape, and then, you know, or we could have it where like the bottom parts are more dirt, and then as you start getting near the top, it does become stone and like the different, you know, other like cool textured mountains. So who knows? Yeah, plenty of time to figure this out, so I'm not in too much of a rush to make any big decisions. Seems like we got an Enderman. Oh, that would be why. Interesting. Torches. Whatever, fine. Why did it go through you? I shouldn't have gone through. I shot him directly, but it went through for no fucking reason. Luckily, all of it is cobblestone, so it's not like he could do any actual damage, but certainly still a little annoying, though. Oh, something like that should be good. Go ahead and put down some more torches. Our lava bit should be near done. And there it is. And we'll go ahead and pop down our scaffolding box for one of the last times here. Now the next thing I'd like to work on for today is we're going to be working on the frog light farm. Just to make sure that, you know, we can actually get frog lights. I do plan on using them. Or at least I want access to them in case I do plan on using them because they look pretty, so I might. But, yeah, we'll have to see about that. I don't have any reason why I wouldn't, considering I've already gone through all the effort of making the damn thing with, you know, securing a magma cube bastion, all that kind of stuff. So, we might as well go for it. Oh, it's kind of weird. They kind of deload, but when the sun's setting like that, they almost look like lava casts themselves. But I'm gonna take a pic of that. That's a little cursed. That should not be like that, by the way. That's just a little thing with how it renders shit, I guess. Alrighty, we can save that. Cool. Anywho, we're on day 926. We're moving on up. And we got all of our scaffold. Good. And this will be our last one for ever, pretty much. If I decide to do this, it'll be by hand, so we don't have to do any more of this lava casting bullshit pretty much ever again. Which is great. Oh, after this one, that is. 101, 112, 7 block difference. We'll say 106. We'll go to 10. Nah, it's fine, yeah. Something like that. If this was our center point, don't need to line up exactly, I guess. Now it will flow over this part a little bit. That does not really matter. So we just really want this to close up this gap here. And then if it burns a couple of trees, it burns a couple of trees. Holy shit, finally no stuff spawning in here? Oh my lord. Damn, let's go. Perfect. Be easy enough to secure. That. There we go, and our scaffolding box. We'll be making contact here anytime now. Ow. Lava should be making contact with that water at the bottom, so. Oh, and I also, it was so obvious it was looking me right in the face, but I just found out what we're gonna do for the nether to fix our problem of like actually getting enough, like just being fast, because you know you take a ladder right now and that's fine and all, but it's just lame, or not really lame, but it's just slow. So what we're gonna be doing instead is we're gonna redo that whole area to actually have an old like minecart elevator in it, where basically, you know, you got a minecart sitting on a ladder every couple of blocks, and then you can just smash the fuck out of right click, and then you're up like 200 blocks in a mere like 10 seconds. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing, because we can't use water, obviously, in the nether to make a bubble elevator. Which is fine. Not too inconvenient, luckily. And I got the iron to spare, so that was the other reason why. Well, there we go. And this is our last cast. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a little pan out real quick to see how good we're doing in terms of shape here. Like, this slope is pretty good. It definitely did get a little sketchy near the end, but for the most part it transitions well, kind of to show a good proof of concept. And I think the same thing here. It looks weird at this angle, but like I've said, yeah, there we go. Okay. It should be a little bit better to see. Yeah, that's still pretty good. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly like this for the whole thing, but this was more of a rough outline just to show, and it was a proof of concept, what was good and what would work, what wouldn't work. We still have some patches we need to fill in. We have to actually, like, the other hard thing is we need to connect up all of these corners with, like, custom lava casts. And then we got to connect them all up to each other. And once we do that, then we can really start on the terraforming. But I think in terms of shape, it'll be pretty cool. It's just making sure we figure out how the mountain should really look. Again, between block palette and actual shape. Do I want them to be a lot smoother at the bottom and a lot more jagged at the top? Do I want it to be like thin and jagged pretty much the whole way up? Do I want them to be like smoother and cut them off earlier? What kind of block palette should I use? What do I need to keep in mind? Like, all these, different options I gotta actually think about. I really want to nail this, but it's not exactly the easiest thing to figure this out, considering I pretty much have no terraforming experience. I have a little bit nowadays, but I haven't obviously terraformed anything this big before, so it's not quite one-to-one compared to what I've done in the past historically. But it should be a fun challenge nonetheless. And it'll look cool too. Yeah, we're just clearing away all this cobble. We'll reconnect up to that part. Go. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pop into a creative world for a little bit, because I need to map a couple of things out. Namely, we're going to be looking into making sure we get the proof of concept for the Froglight farm all completely done and finalized. And then, we go gather the materials and build it in our survival world here, obviously. But the other main thing that's actually more important is the mob switch. I need to know for sure if that's going to work or not, considering I've never built one before. The only way I'm going to, and especially this one of this caliber hasn't really, like, the shulker ones have existed before, but not ones that have the fission chamber like built into them like this. So we'll see how that works, if that works, and then it'd be good to go. But did it? We got our mountain range in place finally after a couple of weeks straight. That's cool. That took longer than it should have. And just to think, this would not have been done at all by now had I decided to stick with the old design I was planning on using, because it would have been easier to customize and make larger. We probably would not be done at all yet if I decided to use some of the other ones. I'm glad we settled on this for outlines, but because if we used that instead, or that one, oh my god, dude. Because then we also have to connect the corners up for these, so it's a lot more work. It might have looked better in the end, but I think it's better for me to just go through it by hand for a little while and just kind of take it easy. But this is, my actual base here, all this stuff, so this is what I actually want to, redo with redstone stuff and some other cooler things down the line. So, yeah. Hey, we did it. Now, let's see here. We need to probably put the scaffolding box away after I take some of this out, I guess. And what do we want? What are we gonna do here? I need to also, I need to stock up on more XP bottles, and then I need to go fix my elytra when we come back as well. So we're on day 926 for now, and we're gonna pop over into that creative world for a little bit to test out some stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and just check that out and see what we got, I guess. It shouldn't be nothing too bad. This was some of the earlier concepts too for lava cast, because I was using a different technique that involved water. You would waterlog a bunch of kelp so it would make source blocks, and then you'd get like shapes like this work on a smaller scale, but on a bigger scale it does not scale up well enough in terms of shit to do. It's fucking hard to build that up for like 200 blocks. Same with this one as well. It was hard to do for 200 blocks like that. This was better. You can see how kind of some of the corners were starting to become connected, but then, I think I used scaffolding for that because that's actually cleared out. And then we've got another water-based one here. Actually, no, not quite. This one was a stone lava cast that I'd worked on, but I'd fucked up. So this lava cast was going to be unique in the sense that it also, instead of it being cobblestone, it would actually be able to generate stone. Because, that would have been pretty cool and actually somewhat useful, but anywho, we're gonna pop over, and this was some of the original sphere designs, me messing around with charge creeper explosions with blast protection compared to normal protection, basic sphere designs, and like some of the original color palettes I was considering before I ended up settling on a red terracotta. I was thinking smooth sandstone, that one, stone bricks, and then we settled on terracotta. And then the thing was picking out the type of color terracotta that went well with glass. So mainly it was between like red and blue, and light blue was also a really good one too. And then, settled on red for some like stupid shit. So that was cool. Random scaffolding that's here from working on the original part of the gunpowder farm that we now have in our hardcore world. Also some nether portal bullshit that I had to do when I was just spawning in here, and then also the thing we used to double check that we could move shulkers through the nether correctly. I learned how to do it here, and then this was me practicing how to break bedrock, and then the basic concept we were using for the magma cube spawner. Now, give Jacob 86 strength. We want this to be peaceful for right now, and we're gonna kill this guy. And to be quite honest, we're going to kind of remodel this a little bit. But yeah, this is just kind of the main proof of concept I have. Well, again, I didn't come up with the powdered snow thing. Let me make that very clear. The powdered snow was not my idea. I don't quite know who designed it first or who thought of it first, because things like that tend to get like muddled when like larger YouTubers tend to get involved. So some of the earlier ones I can see were by like Silent Whisperer, who does mostly Bedrock Edition tutorials, and I think Waddles covered it at some point for Java. But in terms of original creator, I do not know. But again, let me make it very clear that I did not actually, come up with the powdered snow stuff. But this will be what we're using with this. So it's a very simple principle, luckily. So we shouldn't have to worry about it. This was also when I was going to be using lava to move them, so we'll just kind of disregard all of this and I'll go patch it up. I was going to have them, like, I only had the wither rose to do kind of like damage control on them. I was getting our frogs in place. So I wanted it to be a lot more controlled, like it went to a very fixed and like specific spot with all the magma cubes. That way I could like, knuckle down on having a huge collection system, but that just simply wasn't necessary, it turns out, because I, saw some other designs and it was just like, well, just have the fucking frogs, like, in the farm, and just let them do their little frog things in the farm. Or just, like, free, because I guess, I'll have to double check it on the wiki to make sure this wouldn't go wrong. But as far as I can tell, I don't believe magma cubes will try and attack frogs or anything. Alright, let's check the wiki for that real quick. Let's find out. Magma cubes, y'all like y'all like beefing with frogs or no? I'm not seeing anything about beef, so looks like we are good. Clear for that. Cool. They will not try and fight each other, which does in fact make my life a little bit easier. So all we have to do really then is just literally put in frogs at the bottom, which I also want to try. Also try it out in like survival here in a little bit in terms of we'll have some frogs on leads, and then we'll see how easy it is to just drop them in. Just by pushing them in or learn them or whatever. And there also should be a way for me to hang on. There should also be a way for me to do some stuff with sorry, I'm linking out here. Oh, to stop magma cubes from spawning, because you can't use light sources for it. You gotta actually use like solid blocks. So supposedly there is a kind of perfect thing you do, where basically what we would do is we would just do something like this, and then we make a diamond, and then we make the diamond 3 blocks tall, and it has to be like solid blocks or so. And yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'll switch it back over to hard here to see if this actually ends up being correct or not. I'm guessing it should be. Don't see any reason why this would get too fucked up. And it might not be with a diamond, it might be with a square, because again, I saw this in a Bedrock Edition tutorial, and I know obviously the game's different in terms of certain spawning mechanics, so we'll figure that one out. Let's go ahead and get that. But yeah, you don't take nothing takes freezing damage in powdered snow unless they're in it consistently for a long enough time. So the frogs will jump through it at some point, but because they don't go through it for more than like half a second at most, we shouldn't have any issues with them like dying over time. And all the medium and large magma cubes are like tall enough to where they will always, like, anywhere in this farm they will intersect with a powdered snow and they will die. But the tiny ones will be stuck on the ground, and they can hop into it, but they will fall back down. Usually by then the frogs just eat them, and then we would have our hoppers and whatnot here. So if I switch over to hard, normally we would see some kind of spawn. But if I clear away a little bit more... So see how we cleared away a little bit of glass and there's instantly something, but, So this does work, so we want to make a 3-block tall diamond centering on the spawner here. And that's all we gotta do. So that's cool. So that means this is... once we get this in place in the nether, we'll be able to build in our box safely with our glass and our cobblestone or whatever we want to use. And then... the only thing left is we need hoppers. We'll probably bring like 2 stacks of these iron trap doors. And then last but not least, we want our chest, obviously. And then all we would do is get rid of this floor here. And we'll have to dig into some of the lava there in the bastion as well to make sure this gets fully accomplished. So I'll keep that in mind, I guess. But all you really gotta do here is kind of just pick a spot out in the distance, which we'll probably say here in the middle. But if our hopper would be at that level, say something like that, is then we can also still expand the storage a little bit. There we go. So all we gotta do is a little something like this, and then line the entire floor with hoppers. And then it's really just as simple as that. All we do is just line the floor with hoppers, we put our trapdoors over them, and then boom. Frog Lake Farm when we get rid of that glass up there. And we'll test it out proper as well here by like just putting in our frogs. We'll be using only white frogs in here, by the way, just because, you know, I don't want to actually have to go through the trouble of getting a command to like summon specifically the like cold frogs and the temperate frogs and all that, so we're only going to be getting the hot and white frogs in here. And we'll go ahead and clear up our powdered snow for right now, because I think it should be easier to put them in when we get our trapdoors in place anyways. But yeah, we should be pretty much good here. And I don't want to use carpet because that will burn. Well, it wouldn't burn as long as nothing gets set on fire, but I don't want to risk anything getting set on fire, so, you know. And I got the iron to waste anyways. Like, what the hell does it matter, you know? Got a whole shulker box of iron blocks, and then I have like 8 double chests of like iron ingots, or more like 6 when you factor in the poppies. But either way, just an unholy amount of, you know, iron. Then wood is just wood, so... basically all we would do, yeah, that makes it a lot easier. All you would do is just every other block, put in some powdered snow. And this is a 9x9 like footprint. So this is like any other dungeon spawner you would use like in the overworld for zombies and skeletons. So we did not do anything fancy in terms of that. So that's pretty good. Anywho, should be on peaceful, good. And I know we've built this above bedrock, but the principle is still the same, so this will work in a bastion. I just built it above bedrock, so that way I have a better time seeing this. We'll replace this with glass just so that way we have something a little bit nicer to look at. And that should be the entire farm, so we'll search up frog. We got some frogs, and we want to put in like 21 of them, so... actually, no, that's... Hang on, we want to do a little bit more of it. Oh, actually, no, if the glass is there, it literally is just easy, so... I'm pretty sure all we would really have to do is just, do they take fall damage? They do not. Okay, they do after enough height, but they can, they have some tolerance for it. That was 5. And I just want to make sure we're all cleared up on that. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so this is, you know, obviously excluding the fact that, you know, it's kind of all in here like this. This pretty much would be what it looks like. In terms of just the sheer abundance of frogs that we would end up having. And they fucking run when they want to. Holy shit, did you see that? Damn. Anywho, let's go ahead and give this a shot. So, our magma cubes will start dying over time. And the powdered snow. Also, because it acts it's similar to cobwebs, so they actually won't even be able to jump out of it. Well, okay, they do, that's a lie, I guess. They do jump out of it sometimes, but they will die after enough time, so... Same with these guys as well. They still collide with this. So we'll see the medium ones taking damage here. They die. And then the small ones, and then all the frogs should be seeing them. I don't think it counts as mob griefing. We just saw one of them eat, so... You can see we're getting our pearlescent frog legs with our white frogs. And it does in fact work. So yeah, cool. Frog lake farm. So then the AFK, all we would literally have to do is just like stand here pretty much and just watch what was happening. And that's pretty much it. We should be seeing some more magma cube spawns. There we go. I'm not seeing a whole lot of them. And we need to we maybe want to the rates are fine enough, but I think maybe we should try just branching this out one block. So we'll try just extending this out by like a single block, so that way it goes from a 9x9 to an 11x11, and we'll see if that helps, because the game always tries to spawn the biggest ones first, and if the big ones can't spawn, then like that ends up being a problem, because that means either, you know, none of the medium or small ones will spawn at all. So if they intersect with this wall incorrectly, I kind of need to know. So we'll just go ahead and kind of readjust this for a little bit. That also means we're going to need to put in some more hoppers, unfortunately. Slash, wait, hang on, if I do slash kill, there we go. I just wanted the frogs gone, so. We're not getting any stuttering, in case you haven't noticed as well, so it almost certainly might be an Elytra thing or my actual survival world thing. Which, you know, is fine, it's not too big of a deal, but certainly is a little inconvenient, I suppose. So it seems like we want to make this an 11x11 square, because then it'll be a full, like, or not, like, we want to have, like, the inside be an 11x11 square, so this actual, like, outer rim should be, like, 13x13. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, yeah. So our overall footprint should be 13x13 instead of 11x11. So that way we get an 11x11 on the inside here. That means we might actually, not might, we will have to put in some more powdered stone. Man, using World Edit would be useful, huh? That means I'd have to actually use World Edit, and I don't want to, so. Not that I don't want to, I mean, I'd actually have to go through the trouble of getting it. I don't think it's too bad to get as like other mods, but either way. Might be good for figuring out some terraforming stuff for my base, but wouldn't be anything I used as seriously designed stuff. I should be able to also like fill all these with air at some point as well with a command. I know that's a thing I can do, but I'm not too familiar with it. I know it exists, I just would have to actually do it. Oh, I also found out too today, apparently there's some, at least as of 1.18.2, there's some hyper like simple way to break a ton of bedrock involving like redstone lag and whatnot, and then you can pretty much break like a ton of bedrock simultaneously, but it just takes a little bit of time. And you don't have to use TNT for it, which is the main thing. But it involves making a large square of redstone with a lever in the middle, and you flick it really fast with either an auto clicker or setting one of your keybinds for right click to be like a button on your keyboard. And then you spam it really fast, and it lags the game out really hard. And then set up some shit with piston heads again to break a ton of bedrock after the lag stops after a good bit of time. So I'm thinking about, as long as that still works, I might consider making a huge hole in the nether ceiling just for the funny. So that's something else to look forward to, I guess. I could also make a hole into the void in the overworld, but that would not be a good idea because I don't want to have any risk with I don't want to risk anything with the void ever, to be honest, because, you know, can't pop a totem down there. So once you lose all your health, that's it, you're gone. And we're simply not gonna do that, so, you know, better to not risk something like that. Just know that I could, but would I want to? No. Yeah, it could be cool making a huge, like, bedrock crater or something. And then make it a little bit easier for me to, like, fly up and out with my elytra once the minecart elevator eventually goes obsolete again. It'll definitely be a lot faster than a ladder, so it probably won't go obsolete for a long time, because I still try not to waste my elytra durability too much. Speaking of elytra, I'm thinking about going back to the end to go end city raiding for some more elytra. So I might stream that again at some point. Because we haven't done end city raiding since the very first time I actually did end city raiding, like a fuck ton of time ago, like months ago by now. But I always liked it. I always like those kind of like gauntlet kind of dungeon-y feeling areas in terms of just a bunch of shit you gotta kill, and there's actually like good unique loot at the end of it. That's kind of why I really like bastions and the you know, ancient cities and all that. They have a couple of hard mobs, but then there's like actually like somewhat worthwhile loot at the end of all of it. So I wonder, does a recovery compass point towards like if you die with a totem and then obviously you don't die because you used a totem, would a recovery compass work, or would it not? Maybe that might be like a poor man's, well, I say poor, but you know, that could be like a fucked up poor man's lodestone instead of actually having to get a lodestone and a compass. I have one lodestone. I don't think I'll ever use it, so. But anyways, we're gonna just go ahead and get some more hoppers in place here. Here we go. No, it's not like this is going to be producing so much that our hoppers will back up or nothing, or that, you know, we'll bottleneck too hard. If it was in a basalt delta, that would probably be a different story, but we're just using a magma cube spawner because it's consistent, so that's the only reason why. Also, I don't want to go build a basalt delta 1, because that means I'll have to do spawn proofing, but with a magma cube spawner, you don't have to do any spawn proofing, which makes my life easier. Anyways, we'll just go ahead and go get these trapdoors put into place. Also, Swift Sneak is gonna make this like a lot quicker as well. But you know, I just don't have any Swift Sneak stuff on me in creative because, you know, I don't want to enchant nothing right now. Alright, anywho, it'd be good to just continue up the grid pattern from what we've already established. Alright, perfect. Go ahead and put in 21 frogs, so... Alrighty. That should be pretty much the finalized design of all this. So you see how we had a lot more magma cubes spawned there? Instead of just like one big one, we had like a big, a medium, and two small, so a lot better. It was a lot nicer. And just for the sake of this farm specifically, we don't need to do this for the Bastion one, obviously, but I'll just go ahead and put some glass up here just so that way we don't have to deal with any like gas or something on the roof of the nether. Now, we had about like 8 frog lights in the double chest, I'd like to say. So, you know, keep that in mind. We actually, you know, we probably could, we'll give it a shot. Hang on. We'll try using a spawn command to spawn in a bunch of the different frogs. It should just be like /spawn and then like tilde tilde tilde, and then all the different frog colors. So I'll have to do kill E again, and then we'll give that a shot. I mean, look how much more there were. So yeah, you see how many we're getting now. Difficulty peaceful. And then /. And then we'll just go ahead and peace out into the nether again. And we'll try using a spawn command to get all 7, or 7? All 3 different types of frogs, but we want to get 7 of each, so... We'll spawn in the white ones first here. Just to have them. Alrighty, and then /. Is there a fucking... Oh, summon, that's what it was. Frog. Alrighty. Is there one for frogs yet? Yeah, here we go. Frog, adult. You should be able to summon the other different types of frogs. You just have entity and position. Oh my god, you really fucking... You really can't, can you? I don't know anything about some of the NBT stuff, so... Ah, dude, what the fuck? Oh, variant, okay. /, The full command would be summon and then frog and then variant and braces. So slash summon and then frog and then tilde 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 and then so it looks like we do actually, yeah, and then here's NBT. Alright, and then we want the temperate frog, or the other one, which I believe is 2, or the cold frog, that one's 2. We want the green one, so these are all fucking ass orange ones. What did we fucking... Why are these all fucking variant ones? Huh. Variant 3, no. Should I just try 2 instead? Exactly. Okay, so you see we're only getting the orange variant. I want the green one as well. There's no 9 variant, obviously. Okay, somebody else is saying... Oh, spawn queen. This is the appropriate MBT tag, I'm guessing. Nope. Variant. Wait, no, wrong part. That is not correct. Variant warm. Or variant cold. Nope. Damn, bitch, come on. Variant 0 wouldn't do anything. 2 is that. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh well. Oh, flash kill. Can I kill him if... Can I kill just frogs or something? Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. So the data value is temperate. Nope. Temperate wouldn't do it. Yeah, okay, so it's an NBT tag. I just want to see it just to work, and I was like, I don't want to learn any of this stuff anyway, so. Nope. I want cold. I've been spawning temperate frogs, but I want cold. Nope, alrighty. Didn't work anyways. And out. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get this, so that's a shame. Oh well. We'll go ahead and kill all the frogs. Yeah, we need to make this room larger in the future, so. But no, the general principle is the same at least, so. Anyways, there's one other thing I want to try. Slash kill. There we go. Alright, last important thing we need to do for now, and then we'll hop back into the survival world, is, well, we're gonna try making that mob switch I've been talking about. So, mainly what we really gotta do is just, we need a shulker spawn egg, and then, fences. There we go. Slabs. Perfect. Slash place. Or slash, oh, it was set block, wasn't it? There we go. We are actually on half, perfect. So, and we're gonna grab a quartz slab just to make it easier to find a center point. So we want to make this a 7x10, I guess. Actually, we'll make it a 7x11, so we'll branch out by 5 on each side here. And all we need to do is fill in the empty space. And so what this means basically is our shulkers would all go up on this platform here, and then we'll be using fences to make sure they can't actually get out, on any of the walls. And then that also means they're all completely contained, so they won't be able to target me, and then they can't teleport on the fences, and then the slabs will be like the upside down slabs or whatever, so they can't go on top of those either. And it's really just that easy, pretty much. So this is just a box to contain them, basically. And we'll use some couple deep slate slabs. What do we got? Where is it? Okay. I'm sorry, it's a little boring right now, but I kind of need to know this. We won't be building this straight away or nothing, but I figure we might as well see about it now. This is just something I want to do on stream anyway, so might as well get it out of the way now. But all this is testing is just to see if these are bottom slabs. They can't fucking spawn up here, you idiot. Oh, I fucking goofed a little bit here. I fucked up big time. Oh man, oh. So obviously we want them to be up here, so naturally what I've done is the incorrect thing. We don't want them on the undersides, we just want them on the top, and I completely fucking blanked out on that one. So we're gonna have to redo this, unfortunately. Won't take too long, it's just a inconvenience, to be perfectly honest. There we go. And we'll make it 2 blocks tall. Alrighty, last quarter here. And we can actually get to work on this. Then we just need to put in our fences. And then we'll put in our slabs on the top. And I also want to see if I can put the buttons on the underside. Because we'll actually probably use glass for the roof, just so I can see into it better too. It'll be easier to do a head count if I can actually see from a top-down point of view. And glass, there we go. Button. Use a standard wood button. And then we'll stagger in some lighting at the top because we already have to use full blocks anyway, so we might as well put in a little bit of lighting. Don't need to put in a whole bunch. There we go. And we'll put in some frog lights because why not? I already gotta do it anyways. I also... Oh, fuck me. Alright, this was the other critical detail too, and I seem to have forgotten it. The thing with a mob switch to make it, you know, work is the chunk barriers. Oh my god. Damn me. Oh, Jesus Christ, why? Alright, so, yep, I fucked up yet again. Because I'm not used to doing this shit. The chunk borders actually are important, and I do need to keep them in here, even if it is for the purposes of just testing. Because they won't all load correctly at the same time if they're not all in the same chunk, and it also fucks with the chunk loader to some extent too. So let's get this rebuilt, and then we'll actually fucking start. It ain't even like we gotta do anything hard, it's just, you know. Alrighty, that's not cool. This is gonna be our new edge. Gonna be our other new edge. I want to have the same dimensions for the platform. Alrighty, so you need to cut these out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here's 5. There we go. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Technically, we wouldn't need to do this many shulkers because this will have 77 shulkers in it. You would only actually need like 71. You just take 70 plus 1 to get the amount of shulkers you'll need. Well, obviously that's just 71, but I meant to say more for multiplayer. That's where that actually applies. So, if you have 2 players on a server, you need the amount of players times 70 plus 1. And that's how many shulkers you'll need. So if you had 2 people on a server, you would need 2 times 70, which is 140, and then plus 1 extra shulker. And that's how you would make a mob switch on a, you know, multiplayer server. So if you're gonna have up to 10 people, you would need like 701 shulkers. Which is why I went to because if this works in multiplayer, like this would be a lot easier to set up, because, you know, otherwise you'd have to go to the end to like get all of them by hand. Whatever, so, you know, and getting 600 plus shulkers through the end like that is just awful. And then just keeping them in a box like this is a lot easier. So if we have our fission chamber down at the bottom here, like 30 blocks down or whatever, they'll send them up, and then, you know, only good things can happen if they get sent up like that, because, you know, they get sent up out of the distance of the fission chamber, and they can only go into this box specifically. And then when they're in this box, obviously they're counting towards the mob cap. And then, you know, we can clone them as many times as we need. And then it's really just not too bad, honestly. So now we can put in our glass for real, and then we'll punch out some stuff for lights here in a little bit at the end. But this is easier for me to do than the villager one in my world personally, but also this does have, like, this should be pretty useful to do in multiplayer servers as well, assuming you've made it to the end before. And then this will work in the overworld. Well, all of the different mob switches. I forgot what they were called for a moment there. All the different mob switches do work in like any dimension other than the end, because there aren't really chunk loaders in the end, because you can't use nether portals. So this one might be easier to do in the nether, compared to the villager one at least. I'm not 100% sure on that, so who knows. But we'll just go ahead and put in some frog lights in the corners and then in the center parts. Alright, that should give out plenty of light. And then we'll just break in from the side. And we also have to put buttons on all the sides here. I believe we're still on peaceful right now, so I'll have to check that. It doesn't matter these buttons are, you know, here like this on the border, so I wouldn't cut it too much. And technically we could get rid of these blocks as well anyways on the very edges, so it wouldn't matter regardless. And what we need to do is dip in a spectator. If we did this in survival, all we would have to do is just, you know, break a fence gate. Or not fence gate, you know, an actual fence. And that's not too hard, so. And all you would do is just make this box bigger, or just make more of them, like tacked on top of each other, pretty much, if you wanted to do this on multiplayer. At least to my guess and my understanding. You know, a little bit about how these work in terms of the mob switch, and then, like, you know, how the game can actually load new stuff, so I'm guessing this could work. And Shulker shouldn't have any issue here. They still can lift their heads up and out. So all we're doing here is just, and we'll kill all of them by hand as well, or not by hand. We'll use a /kill command to kill all of them when it's time later. But we just want to see mainly if the mob switch would actually work. That's pretty much the main thing. I don't know if it's worth, they're extremely loud, but damn. Alright, so if I were in survival, get that there. If I were in survival here, from what I am aware, they shouldn't be able to target me. Nope, they cannot. So this would be completely contained and safe in survival. Then they don't have anywhere to teleport, and then the buttons are there to make sure they can't teleport either. Now, if I check the F3 menu, from what I remember, this should be the entities. So this is how much are currently loaded, because remember, we're not seeing all of them right here. And then this is the total in the world. So now that we're looking over here, you can see we got like 77 or 78 technically. So that might be because there's something like out in the distance over there. But now if we look over this way, we have 77. And if we look straight down, we have them. So my guess is we do actually have just something over here, like a charge creeper or whatnot. So, / difficulty hard. Okay, difficulties already are on hard. / time. So now with it being nighttime, if you notice, we'll go down to the ground a little bit more, but again, just to confirm and really like emphasize this, we are on hard mode right now, and because of these shulkers being up here, we would have 100% have something here. In fact, I should set it to can I set it to midnight? Midnight is an option. 100% we should have mob spawning right now, this very moment, because we're in hard. But if we go far enough away from the shulkers, we should see like a massive influx of mobs. So you can see up there, we're still able to load them in. Still load them in. We should be ready to unload them here soon. They won't despawn, they'll just get unloaded, but they shouldn't despawn. And Oh, that might be a spawn chunk as well, by the way. Wait, that might be a spawn chunk, so this might be harder to actually like definitively prove. I also forgot about that. Yep, that is almost certainly enough spawn. Oh no, we get some zombies. Okay, we just weren't close enough quite yet. We do actually got some shit. I wonder if that's just because there's a village. Yeah, they were calling in reinforcements. So that might be a spawn chunk over there. Because again, just to emphasize, we are on hard. So if I go ahead and kill all these shulkers with a command, we should see this mass influx of mobs like as soon as these guys die, and they're still all here. We're actually getting bats to spawn, funny enough, because this is like Under Darkness like that. That's a little cursed, but these guys did not despawn even after going away a bunch of blocks. I don't know if these zombies would have despawned after going away, because I think it's a zombie siege, so it might count for something different compared to normal. But it does seem like they've died without actually being killed by the golem. A couple of them maybe, but for the most part, we're getting nothing because I built that in a spawn chunk by accident because I didn't realize what the fuck I was doing. That's alright though, so check this out. If I do slash kill, hang on, if we do slash kill, and then it was, what was it, at E, and then we put in our brace there, and then it was type, and then we could do a shulker, and then we close. We killed all 77 of our shulkers, and now all of a sudden a ton of shit spawning instantly. So, you're good, Bean. I probably won't be here in a few hours, but either way, I will almost certainly be back tomorrow, so I guess good night for now at the very least then, because I'll probably be here for another hour or two at most, so. But, yeah, this does work. It's a good proof of concept. It does work. Like I said, as soon as they were all gone, they all spawn in. As soon as all of our shulkers had died, that is. So all we would have to do, and we could build this in the spawn chunks as well, technically, to like permanently, because this would permanently like make it peaceful, and I don't want it to be permanently peaceful. But if we were to build this away from the spawn chunks, and we would have a better story. What the fuck? And he teleported away, but I don't know where he went. Okay, he went there, sure. That was weird. I didn't know I could spawn him in fence gates like that. That's spawning. No harm, no foul. So again, we've got all of them. Now, the ones that are already down here won't despawn just because these guys are back. But if I were to unload them by like flying high enough in the air, you can see how they start to despawn over enough time. Like our spiders are gone. We'll go ahead and turn off chunk borders here. I didn't want to do that. E, that's what it was. So you can see how we're starting to get them out of render distance, and then they're starting to despawn. And we should be pretty much out of range completely for any new spawn. So if I were to plummet back down, for example, everything's gone, but nothing new is spawning. So the other main thing we want to test here, and we're going to go ahead and kill all of these guys. And you see how instantly, as soon as all of them are truly dead, instantly we get a full mob cap. The other main thing we're going to go ahead and try here that was actually important, and the main focus of this was getting some scaffolding tomfuckery set up. So we're going to go ahead and clear out our inventory. Shulker. We get our shulker, we get some scaffolding, and we get some slabs. Let's see here, we'll just stick with cobble. And then buttons. And then we'll go ahead and get some glass. And due to the way that scaffolding works or doesn't work, kind of, it does work obviously in terms of like scaffolding is a functional block, but it is rather goofy with shulkers for some fucking reason. So all you would do is we would have, I'd say probably hang on, I'll get quartz again. We'll build this like 4 blocks off the ground just so, because we'll be building this over a body of water or something. So we'll have a. There we go. So this is where we want our shulker to go. And then all we're gonna do is build the manual like fishing chamber that I've built in the past. Where basically it's just a very basic like bare bones shulker farm. That's easy enough to put together. But it'll like still lead it to a main market itself and all that. We'll get rid of some of this glass here. Actually, we'll use cobble. I want all this to be glass so I can actually see. So all we would do is we would tuck a sticky piston. Actually, we can get in some redstone. Sticky piston, repeater, dust, lever. Alrighty. So now all we'd want to do here is, well, we need to knock this backup block. I forgot about that. Because when the sticky piston is extended, the farm is off, for lack of a better. It's not really a farm, but it's off when it's extended, and then when it's not extended, then it's on. So we'll just do something like that. There we go. We'll actually be using top slabs here, just so I don't have to do nearly as much spawn proofing. And then we need a couple of other things. We need a trapdoor. I want iron specifically. And that's not going to work because it's not a full block. Oh, I'll just use some polished granite. Oh, and also it wasn't even connecting up to here. So this means that it would be off. I think this would still work. Yep. So you can see we got our glass block. See, we got our glass block in there. So this would be the farm off. This would be it on. And then the last big thing we have to do is spawn proof. Just with buttons. So all we gotta do is go around, put down our buttons. And I think that would pretty much do it, other than obviously get the shulker in place, which we've marked out clearly with that quartz slab there. But luckily it won't be too hard to figure out where to put it. And the other issue we're going to have as well is we need to seal this off in a different way than I would be using. Because pistons are kind of a pain in the ass to properly seal like that, so we just have a block above and a block below, and they're all buttoned up too. Cool. Let me do something like that. And that's pretty much everything, barring a couple of niche things there. But now it's actually everything, so as I miss one. Anyways. This is only to stop it from teleporting like up onto here. So we put in our little shulker buddy. That's right. The farm off. He won't shoot at me, I think, because we are in a... we'll make it day. And then... Give it a little bit of time. So the bullet should go back. Nope, I misspaced that. Okay, so we actually kind of misspaced our, because there has to be a certain number of blocks that it has to be able to travel with the bullet before it, says, okay, we're good. So we ended up building that a little bit too close, which is fine. We can fix that real easy here. I just do that. I just do that, duh. Dumbass. Did that before. Makes it way easier. Okay, now and then we put in that. Get our dust, our lever, which is go here. Here we go. There should be enough distance. So it thinks it'll shoot through the trap. Damn, bitch, I know this works. I have a whole ass manual farm for this. Oh, does it actually need to be on the top? Let's try, well, okay, well, once levitation goes away. I don't know if this needs to be on the top. I know they don't like shooting through trapdoors, but it has to have enough, see, like that. Now it'll hit itself. It won't clone itself now, but that was our problem. It's fine shooting over bottom trapdoors, but top trapdoors it just won't for whatever reason. So that's what our main problem was. But this still works luckily, so perfect. Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, so we've got our main fission chamber done. So now the last big thing we have left to do here is not really too hard. All we would literally have to do, right, is, and it's going to be a little weird, we just kind of go up a smidge from here. I guess, yeah, that should actually be fine to start with. And all we want is, we'll go ahead and just put in some slabs. Want that to go there. All we need is just like a basic like 9x9 slabs or whatever. Now we can make this larger in terms of this platform, and this will be relatively close to my other manual spawner, just so that way in case this one like teleports up with the rest of them, we will not be fishing something up from there back down in here. Instead, we'll go grab a whole new one from like a separate area. So what we'll do probably is like we'll make a dedicated area like in this little like in a little like pit area over here that has like 4 shulkers in their own separate little prisons that we can go ahead and manually contain. And then in case this one in the main fission chamber dies or teleports or whatever, then we can just go bring in a backup like a lot easier. So I'm to keep driving back and forth with another one. I can if I still need to, but again, I would like to try and avoid that. So they teleport in a 17 by 17 by 17 thing centered on themselves. So 8 blocks out in each direction. So we can make this a little bit bigger before we start crossing into the chunk border, which we don't want. Basically, we just want to make this platform pretty much as big as humanly possible, just so that way we can maximize the chances of them actually teleporting while cloning. Because if they don't have enough spawning spaces, they'll usually like not teleport and like clone. And then, well, they'll teleport without cloning. Like we want to give them as many chances as possible to like let them teleport and clone on the first bullet. We don't want to have it come down to the second or third or fourth. We want it to just, as consistently as possible, have it be like one and done. Which isn't easy, but it should be doable at the very least. So. And it should be high enough off the... This is not high enough. It is not. Great. Alright, we're gonna also have to... Oh, wait, no, we can use water. No, okay, hang on. I just sat down and thought about that. we're gonna use water really quickly because you can teleport downwards. They're a lot less likely to teleport downwards. The fact of the matter is they can. So what we'll do is they don't teleport into water. And, you know, water is water, so we'll go around the whole edge of this chunk border and just spam water the whole way. And then that makes it all source blocks. And then boom. So pretty much it's nice little isolated spot. And then all we would do is basically repeat this like up and out. So we just put down a bunch of scaffolding on the whole platform. And then slowly we'll start shifting this platform over like on either the X or Z axis. It would be the Z axis because we want to meet up with there a little bit more. But basically we just want to start moving these platforms a little bit more to like the left and just, you know, we'll keep them the same size for now because they still need to have a lot of time and like, because we want them to move like from this platform, the next one up to the third like platform as fast as possible. So they're out of range of this one here, so he'll clone another one. We can always shut the farm off manually or have like a clock on it where like it'll open for like 30 or like 10 seconds and then it'll close for another 10 seconds and then open, close, and then it'll just repeat infinitely until we get all like 77 of our shulkers in place. But and then the last thing we would have to do would be figuring out how to use a chunk loader, so. And I need to figure out how to save this to a structure block later on another stream. Because if I can save all this stuff to a structure block, all we would literally have to do is just go port it over to like an area that definitely does not have spawn chunks in it. And then we would be able to test out our mob switch, you know, by having like a minecart go through the nether like back and forth. So that's pretty much the last other thing we'd have to do. But yeah, so now the other thing that is needed here is what we do. We actually go ahead and get out some of our slabs again. And all we gotta do is just build this again. So we just go ahead and do that. There we go. So they'll think they can teleport on top of these scaffolding like this, but they objectively cannot do that. Wait, that was too tall. Hang on, before we continue any farther. We only want there to be like one like gap pretty much. No, actually that was a correct height, wasn't it? Suppose it was, huh? Oh. Yeah, it's about as good as it gets, so. Anyways, we'll keep going. I just kind of blanked out there. I know this isn't hardcore right now, obviously, but this is still something cool, and I know there's not really a lot of YouTube guides on this stuff either. There's a couple of mob switches, but all the ones are like, you know, go put shulkers in that box that we just did up there, or go use the villager one, which pretty much everybody else uses the villager one. But the shulker one probably won't get changed, but the villager one might with the zombie villagers, so. And plus, it's personally easier for me to use shulkers right now anyways. And it might even be easier for you to use shulkers as well when you move your first, because you want to get the How Did We Get Here achievement, you gotta move a shulker to the overworld. And you'll already have that shulker, and then you can make a shulker farm, and then when you have a shulker farm, you can just make a mob switch pretty much straight after if you wanted to. Like, it literally should just be that easy. That's pretty neat. Alrighty, I kind of extended out a little bit too hard there. But if this If this proof of concept does end up working, there's a small, and I mean, like, I'm talking like minuscule chance I might make a YouTube tutorial out of this. But I personally don't know like quite enough. I can definitely reference some other like resources that would help kind of make this easier for other people who'd like to try this, but I wouldn't know enough about like shulkers like by heart to really be able to like answer a lot of questions for people. So if you have an issue, that's a you problem and not a me problem is basically all it would boil down to, unfortunately. So but now we're just gonna start basically shifting the platform over by like a block basically and start making it a little bit smaller. We're gonna make kind of like this like step look like in terms of like stairs. So we want these two really big ones first, and then we can start making it a little bit smaller because this is out of range of the main shulker, and then hopefully they'll you know, teleport up into these parts, and then it should match up in footprint with this one up here after enough time, which is our main goal. We only have probably about 5 more of these to build, I guess. But the concept for this isn't really too bad, but making an actual proper YouTube tutorial just kind of showing it off would probably be like really nice. So like I'd probably, if I want it to be good enough to where like if I did do this, I would want it to be good enough to where I would use it personally, because it would just be that good, or like that actually like coherent and, you know, thought out. Because there are some Minecraft like YouTube tutorial makers that just do it for views, and it's like kind of like very generic, and they don't really explain anything. They just kind of like show it off, or like they just literally end up stealing somebody else's design and then they show it off, and then they don't actually give proper credit. And then there are people who are more like you know, Silent Whisperer and Logical Geek Boy and Raiseworks, like those people who actually like have an understanding of what the hell's going on, and they're able to give like, you know, coherent, good explanations about why things are happening, and they're well edited and put together. You know, videos between the materials list and actually being able to explain what the hell's going on. So, you know, waiting for, you know, them to make tutorials about certain things can, you know, obviously take a while. It does take a while, but there's not a tutorial for anything or for everything as well, I should say. I don't think this will be a problem because they can't be on top of scaffolding, because then they'll change their minds and they'll want to move up anyway. So that probably won't be an issue, I think. All right, quartz slab at 70, negative 85. Okay, so this is where we'd want our center. We're gonna have to keep that in mind because we are starting to kind of approach a weird spot. This farm is in like no way good, but it, you know, considering I'm doing this without a tutorial off of some knowledge I vaguely have, I think this should turn out at least somewhat decent. Or I can always troubleshoot it another night as well. But, you know, it's pretty good. There we go. The old way of lava casting that I, you know, was working on with scaffolding might be a good way to make more like New York City, like skyscrapers. Then all you would have to do is just do like a palette swap, and then, you know, you'd be pretty much set. That's something to keep in mind for the future. Not good for mountains, but definitely good for some buildings. Assuming I can make the base of it wide enough. That way we can actually comfortably house stuff in it. I'm also planning on actually like trying to find some more resources to I want to really get good with terraforming that mountain range, so I'm gonna actually have to start looking into resources on, you know, what do natural mountains in Minecraft and in real life look like, and how can I replicate that? And then when it comes to building like actual architecture or whatnot, I actually need to start kind of reading up and looking at some of the different types of architecture, like Gothic and Neoclassical, and like, you know, other like actual like shit like that, instead of just a vague feeling in my heart. You know, can't be doing that too much anymore. Anyways, it should be 75. Yeah, alrighty. All we'll do here is just move it over by a block. And then, here we go. A little something like that. Now, hopefully with this being this kind of stair pattern, we should be able to like slowly move them into a good center point, which is why we're doing this. So, oops. So we want to start slowly kind of moving them closer and closer to the footprint that lines up with this, so that way they have an easier time going in. But remember, for the scaffolding trick, the reason why we have to use scaffolding like this is, you know, they'll only spawn on the tops because of the slabs that we're using, but we want to use scaffolding here because when they spawn, or not spawn, when they move up to the scaffolding, they realize that's not an actual valid spot they can go to, but they already went to it. So what they'll do is they'll like go up to look for an actual valid spot, and then it's still scaffolding, and then they realize I can't be here either, and they keep going up and up and up until they eventually do land on the only valid spot they can get up, which is up here in the magic box of infinite suffering. We can't name tag any of them, but they won't despawn, so that's, you know, kind of the point of this. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool when it's all done, I'm hoping. And plus, we wouldn't even have to decorate this thing too hard either, because I think this kind of like kind of staircasing pattern that we're making looks pretty cool anyways. Not that I've really been able to look at it right now, but you know, I will here in a moment. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. The water is going to be more of an actual ocean when it's, you know, all said and done, by the way, so don't, you know. Well, not here, obviously. It'll be, you know, like actually when we're in the hardcore world again, it'll be an ocean. And we do that. That should be 86. So the next one over is 85. So we're starting near the end for that. Still giving them plenty of spaces to spawn with at least. That's good. And luckily, since I got Swift Sneak, this should actually be pretty quick to build in survival as well, because it's just slabs and scaffolding. And then scaffolding you can put in without Swift Sneak, but the slabs, putting these in quick, having a Swift Sneak for it will be an absolute game changer again. So I'm looking forward to being able to use that. Alrighty, last little bit here. So these line up exactly now. Well, the center points line up. We want to start actually lining up the main bits as well, like the actual corner parts. Don't have to, but it should hopefully make things flow a little bit easier. Because we still want to kind of like morph it into that shape as close as we can up there, that rectangle. But yeah, today we got the rest of the mountain range like sketch put in. We got the Froglight Farm design finalized, you know, here in this creative world. We got our buckets of tadpole ready, and then, you know, we got more and more stuff done, so that's good. But we are getting a little bit better. But anywho, we should actually be nearly done here today. Well, between this and, you know, other stuff I want to go do. I probably won't pop back into the hardcore world after this because I have been streaming for 2.5 hours, so next time we'll get the Froglight farm completely done and dusted now that we know what we're actually going to be doing there, like proper. And then, now that we're getting this mob switch shit figured out, we'll be able to, you know, save this as a structure block, hopefully. And then we can, you know, go ahead and put this somewhere that doesn't have spawn chunks, and then we can go figure out the actual switch part with the, like, nether portals, like chunk loader and all that. Which those aren't too hard to do, I just need to read up on some of the things with lazy chunks and whatnot. That's the other main issue I currently have. I need to learn a little bit more about lazy chunks for right now. Here we go, 3 blocks out, and then 4, 5. That's pretty much a whole edge like that done. There we go. And then this honestly should be our last bit of scaffolding we have to put in, so... There we go. I would need to put in one more. Alright, this is literally the perfect distance by accident again. We'll have to properly measure this out, by the way, when it's actually time to do this, so it won't be this rough and kind of vague. Because like this floor is at 92, and then the shulker is sitting on 59, and then our first layer slab starts at 63, 66, 69, 72, 75, 78, 81, 84, 87, and then 90, and then 92 up there. In fact, this is actually not gonna kind of work. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to move everything up by 1 block. Oh, great. No, I didn't want to have to, but we might, seems like we're gonna move everything up a block, unfortunately. No way around it, let's just get started, I guess, so... I'll just go ahead and get that. Luckily it won't be anything too bad. We'll be building this platform last, if I had to guess, just so that way, you know, we don't keep having these issues like every damn time. Alrighty, cool. You can go ahead and tuck away some of these redstone components. And what we need to do is get rid of this whole layer of slabs. There we go. We put in cobble keep slate. We go ahead and wrap this around the whole outside. There we go. And then it's just our glass and frog lights once again. There we go. Cool. And then our buttons, and then we should be good to give it a little test to see if the scaffolding part should work. It should work. I don't have any reason to believe that it wouldn't, but that's the point of testing this out, to see if it's all a waste of time. We know for a fact the shulker part does work. It's just the farm part at the bottom we need to check, which again, no reason why it shouldn't. But, you know, because if it does, this would make my life a lot easier, and if it doesn't, it is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but at the same time, I could probably live with it as long as I can, like, have a nice way to, like, boat them over to a dedicated area using my own shulker farm. So, likely it shouldn't be too bad either way. Go ahead and put in lighting. And then, last but not least, our buttons. And then we'll also have to go into the underside as well. But break all of them to, you know, put some more in. And then we should finally be good to go here. I can also use glass panes instead of fences, by the way, but I don't really mind. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But fences are a little bit easier to put into place, so odds are we'll use fences. There we go. Last big part. Alrighty, that should be the entire shulker farm, or not farm, the mob switch done. So all it is a box where they can only go on the inside of here and not on the ceiling. Can't go anywhere up here. Oh, and also this. And then all these different scaffolding platforms should be able to feed the shulkers upwards into this thing eventually over enough time. Because we will be, you know, we will be powering this with a basic like fishing chamber at the bottom. That is, it solely like targets me. We won't have any snow golems and it won't be automatic. I want this to be a little bit more manual, just to make sure that if something goes wrong, I am actually able to intervene and stop it pretty damn quickly. Yeah, you can kind of see here. Also, we're gonna just do one more thing. since we're able to make another layer, we can do this to try and help transition it a little bit nicer. There we go. So basically what ends up happening is they hopefully spawn within these first two, and then they get funneled all the way up through these, and then they get moved as it starts kind of like slowly transitioning into this shape over time. And then when they get up to this last one, they should teleport in there, where they'll just sit and wait. And the other thing to note as well is they should be able to spawn within this whole thing, but I might have to redo some bits because like this can't spawn all the way over to there. So but obviously they depending on which block they spawn, they can actually get all the way up into there, but it's gonna be a little weird. So we'll figure it out. We should be clear to give this a test. No, we are not. I'm just kidding. Get pranked, idiot. But I forgot to do some spawn proofing again. Oops. Alright, now we should... Weird, we'll do one more comb over. But this stuff should have been good a while ago. And we'll go ahead and hit that. We're gonna switch our difficulty. Is still on hard. Remember, it is still on hard. So this should work. The bullet will go back. It'll try and hit me, but it should try and hit itself. And actually one other thing, it'll only clone itself when it's we're gonna get a health potion of 2, because I can make these in survival, but I just want to make sure we absolutely do not like fuck this up at all. So all we'll have is a little manual thing I can do here with some basic slabs. And then it can't teleport onto any of these because these buttons. And then I can just go into this corner and heal it. It'll spread through the walls, I'm pretty sure, so. Oh. Obviously we gotta be in survival for this. That also gives me a thing too to be able to easily replace it if it goes wrong. Alright, chunk borders, we'll have hitboxes in everyone. Now he's not wanting to teleport. Like at all. I might have misinputted something up there. Uh-oh. Scaffolding might have been a total waste of time. Yep. Okay, so that's never a good sign. Oh, don't fucking tell me the scaffolding was a total waste. Oh no. Thank you for the follow, Fire Flame. It's good. I really appreciate it. But I might have just butchered this. Oops. They should be able to get up here, right? We should be able to see it teleport. Where did it... What the hell? Where did it go? Did it go back into the chamber? Oh, it went here. Oh, I forgot a button. Okay. That's a little cringe. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how to make a mob switch with some shulkers. It's taken a while because there's not exactly anything easy to figure this out with, so I'm hoping I just got comically unlucky here. This being a permanent issue. Oh, let's give it another shot, I guess. So it should hit itself with its own bullet and then hopefully teleport up. But it seems to be having a hard time wanting to teleport up and actually keep locking on with me. Yeah, this is the first mob switch I'm ever trying to make, so... these just want to be a pain in the ass like usual. Damn. Oh. I might try moving some other blocks around up there. I don't know if I don't think I'm giving it enough space maybe in terms of like height here. So I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of knock out some of these blocks a little bit. We'll hope for the best. So I want to see if that ends up being the issue. If why won't you shoot at me? Come on. Okay, dude. They're also like incredibly stubborn sometimes too, in terms of when they actually want to target or not. Damn, really? They shouldn't be able to get up here. I don't. Oh, is this actually too high? Wait. Oh, that is 9 blocks, isn't it? Oh shoot. We're asking it to do a little bit too much here, I think, is the main issue. Oh, okay, that might be why. So they have a 17 by 17 by 17 radius or square centered on them that they'll teleport from when they get cloned. So he's at like Y60, so he can't go any higher than 67. No, he should be able to reach up here. If I spawn a dude up here, you should realize that he can't be up here, yeah. And it goes. But it doesn't go up there. Where does it go then? It goes on the underside of this glass that I forgot to spawn proof. Okay. Alrighty. Seems like I forgot another one anyway, so... Good thing I'm here, I guess. Woo. Alright, so again, if I put one up here... Does it teleport down or no? No, because now it'll fucking go in the chamber, which makes enough sense, but... Certainly a little annoying. There's one other thing I'll need, soul sand. Come on, there we go. Fun fact about soul sand, it can't spawn, it can't teleport to the top of it. So this is the only spot here where I wouldn't be able to put in a button. So hopefully it won't be able to go up there. And then I guess we might, well, we won't have a similar issue with this one. It should only be able to go up, right? Not that one down there. Alright, I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch that other tutorial too to fucking remember scaffolding stuff. It seems like something's definitely a little bit goofy. I think I should want to go up at least. Shit, I wonder what I goofed up. Hang on. What the hell did I fuck up here? Give me a moment. I have something here in your tutorials. Here we go. I feel like I shouldn't have goofed anything up that bad. With the scaffolding. Did it have to have... Oh, I know what I did now. Hang on. Oh, okay. Well, it would appear I was supposed to space this out a little differently. Okay. So it was supposed to be like glass, scaffolding, air block, and then glass again. So I have the actual platform correctly, just not the Okay, that's what that is. Okay, that's what ended up going wrong. Okay, so that's what our thing is. So all these need to the actual heights are correct, but I think instead of these being slabs, they need to all be glass. Hang on. Where am I? Hang on. Slash set block. Lab. Wait, hang on. Cobblestone slab. Replace. Lab. Oh, okay, so I was using a fixed coordinate. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so we want to use fill real quick. So we're gonna go 78, 63, negative 96, and then complete other coordinate. It should be. Wait, hang on. I went here. So we actually want to go to the other like backside. Okay, so if I were to go here, 64, 92, negative 81. That is not correct. There we go, 81. Now if I do slash fill, and then I get 78, 63, negative 96, and then slab replace slab. Okay, so slab first. Cobblestone slab, and then glass over here. There we go. Perfect. Sweet. Okay. And then we want to get rid of the quartz slabs as well. Perfect. Alrighty, cool. And then the other pain in the ass is we'd have to go around every single layer and put buttons on every side to prevent them from going to the side of these. Hopefully this ends up working. I really don't know, but I put in a good bit of time into this. The idea is sound enough. I just would have to make sure to actually use like, because the scaffolding and the fishing chamber I'm using in the bottom are based on some other like shulker farms I've had to use in the past. This is just a box basically, and all we're doing is using the scaffolding trick that's used in one-dimensional shulker farms to move it up into that box. It's just they're being a little bit picky right now about actually wanting to move up into the box, so that's what I'm trying to fix here by doing all of this. Likely we don't have too much more left. We might do a little bit more hardcore stuff after this, I don't know. But it'll probably be doing stuff with frogs for the rest of the time if I do decide to do that. But again, as I've said, it's actually been nearly 3 hours now, so I'm getting a little tired of this. Could always keep going if I really wanted to, since I don't have anything that I need to do tomorrow that urgently. So I'm still thinking about it, but... See, now he's on the other side. Alright, one other thing we can do here. We can have like an entire layer of glass going like all the way around through here pretty much. So that way hopefully we can encourage it to spawn even more, hopefully. And then it hopefully make things a little bit better. I'm saying it a lot, but I would like to get this done pretty soon. Alright, this should hopefully give it a little bit more spawning space. We have to leave that one glass block there, so we'll let that go for now. There we go. Cool. That can go though. Perfect. And then last but not least, I'm guessing all I really have to do here is button up a good bit of this stuff. This won't be all of it, however. We do actually have to button the underside of certain glass blocks that don't have scaffolding directly underneath them. But otherwise, it should be okay. Here we go. So like something like this here, for example, we'd want our buttons, because they can't actually get anywhere here. Or they can go here, but like they won't, you know, go where we actually want them to go, so it'd be kind of useless. And then we obviously have some buttons here already with the other spawn proofing we've had to do. And we're nearly done. Alrighty, let's see if this works, hopefully. No clue, but if I were to put a shulker down... Yep, he fucking snapped out, and you can see him just, like, spazzing out up here. And he teleported up here. Perfect. So, the proof of concept with all the extra scaffolding does in fact work. So, the only last big thing we need to test here is if the actual fission chamber works. So we're going to switch over to survival, and this should just let him like kind of turn back on himself. So he'll try and shoot me, and then the bullet should keep trying to turn around. It'll hit him. Hopefully, if we're lucky enough, he'll try and clone. Why? Okay, he killed himself by accident. That's not particularly cool. Don't appreciate that. I want to put in a button on the underside here. Here we go. So that has that sealed off, but if we undo it, hopefully we can get him to actually teleport. He's really not wanting to teleport. Okay. Oh, he did though. Oh, he did. It just took a little bit, but it did work. Oh shit. We actually got something that works here. So 2 so far. Okay, rude. Seems like I need to do a little bit more work here in terms of having some way where he won't actually knock me out. We're mainly gonna do something like this. Then that should be the top. And then I think what I can use is a cauldron or a composter. Come on. So what I should be able to do is something like this, where basically we would hop in this here cauldron. And I don't think they'll be able to teleport to the other side of it. Yeah, so it's not even a full block on the other side. So what we would do is we would go into here. Just find the right spot. Now, if it knocks me with levitation, it won't actually do anything. Actually, no, that's still not even correct because, duh, a little bit too low. I'd like to not move that if I can help it. Oh, we could probably just, to be perfectly honest, bring this back. And then we literally just need to do something like this simple. And this would be an actual proper entrance. So then all you would do is go into here, crouch, and then boom. Got his attention. It's a little bit hard for it to split because I don't think it's actually getting as many spawning spaces as I would like. So we might, yeah, we might. Alright, so if that ever does happen in like an actual thing, what we'll do is we'll just bring in a new one. So we do actually need to leave a smidge of stuff clear out. Oh, and we've also got, this is a problem as well. So this is the other thing as well that seems to be a big issue. Is it works fine for there, but when you get over to this area, they don't have glass, so then they won't teleport upwards. Okay. Oh, we do have one other thing we can do, which is all we need to do really is just put in our glass like normal. But then when we get to useless sides, then like we're not going to be putting scaffolding on top of these glass blocks. Is what we're going to do instead. And where's my scaffolding? Damn it, I left it. There we go. What's going to happen instead is we're going to have all these spawn proof like normal. So all these will be the exact same like footprint overall, but the scaffolding footprint is the one that actually shrinks, hopefully. So then all we would have to do is button the top of these like this. So then they can't spawn up on here, but we can still, you know, get them to do stuff. And we would do that. Get rid of these blocks. Now remember, we want the scaffolding staggered like this so we can actually control where they go, which is why it's important that we do it like this specifically, instead of just having scaffolding at the same of the same size like this forever. I want to actually be able to control where they can go and where they can't go, because we want to actually start funnel them into that spot. If I was smart, I would build the fission chamber first, and then the center of that block at the fission chamber where the shulker sits on would be the center of this platform up here as well. So it would actually be like just a normal pyramid structure instead of having to do whatever the fuck this is. So this is a good proof of concept, but there definitely are like a couple of flaws in this in terms of just I've made this needlessly complicated on myself compared to, you know, if I was smart and I did this correctly the first time, we would be making this faster and like easier to build. But, you know, proof of concept does work. That was the main thing I just wanted to prove now, so get good. Jesus, I don't want to do this all the damn time. Good lord, yeah, it's only gonna get worse. Okay, well, shoot. I only needed to match up with the scaffolding parts, right? So we'll try something a little different here. Go. Realistically, all we should need to do is just kind of extend the glass out a little bit here. And it won't look this bad in the final product, by the way. This was just because I don't want to rebuild the whole damn thing from scratch. But you can kind of get the idea that we're going for. I overdid it with the glass down here. All I actually need to do is just have this other layer. So like we can get rid of this whole outside edge and just put in our buttons again. And then that pretty much should do it. There we go. And then this is like one that's a little weirder, which is why this is more acceptable. But I do like this. Just as long as there's glass over every single scaffolding, that's what's important. Sorry if this is boring to watch, by the way, but I'm just really trying to figure this out, and this will make a huge world of difference in the hardcore world. I mean, being able to basically turn on pseudo-peaceful mode whenever you want to would be pretty cool. It means I could actually terraform in relative peace and quiet instead of having to like terraform a little bit and then go fight like 18 things. I didn't light everything up correctly because I was waiting to do it till the end. But you know, that means my gunpowder and slime farms wouldn't be working either, so there is still a valid trade-off to you know, keeping it on versus keeping it off. I'm always trying to build up more string and gunpowder. It's important to always try and keep a nice stock of it. Alright, we're nearly done here for today. That's right, I forgot I could do that. But we don't want to actually do that, obviously. I'm pretty sure I broke these glass blocks for no reason, so my job actually is getting easier. There we go, yeah. That's getting easier for a little bit, and then it gets a little bit harder. We haven't had any overhangs to deal with for now, so we're gonna deal with those. There we go. Just so that way it's at least consistent. Seems like we missed a button anyway, so it's a good thing we're coming back through a little bit. Don't need to come back through for all of it, but it's good to fix it whenever. Oh, we don't actually need that. We shouldn't have. All we needed. A little bit on the top here. Perfect. And then this is the last one here. Alright, and those are the correct way. Alrighty. We should actually be good completely. There's almost certainly a spawn proofing button that I have missed. We will find that out the hard way when it is time. Also, we need to actually fix up a couple of other things. That needs to be too wide. I'll make this a little bit wider here. There we go, do a little something like that. Let me get in our buttons. So we're just trying to give it some more spaces to actually be able to teleport to. So that way we should have better rates. As compared to the manual shulker farm, we're not exactly getting the best amount of spawns here. And that's because we don't have as many blocks as I do anywhere else, so... we have to leave this empty because we need to actually be able to physically boat this into this, bit here. In case something would ever go wrong. And then... like something like this, we would kind of add just a little bit more. And then we come under 72 to 66. That's 6 blocks, so we'll do one more layer in the back here. There we go. Just for the sake of consistency. Go. And we do know the main proof of concept does work because we were able to see it in action, but... And these guys should still be up here as well. Where do they teleport to then? I didn't kill everything. Ones that come out of a duplication don't actually despawn, do they? Because to say that would be annoying would be an understatement. That would be fucking infuriating. Because that means I would have to get all of them through the end, and then the zombie villager one would have been easier. Alright, give it another shot here. See what we can do. Rude. I have no food on me as well. They teleport. It won't teleport every time, but as long as it's just enough. We have hitboxes on. See, so we missed a little bit. Oh, no, none of them were up there because they were the ones that, like, you know, were the reasons why we fixed the shit with the buttons. Okay, so yeah, we were missing quite a lot of spawn proofing up here. A severe amount of it, in fact. But I think it did work. Yep, alright. It is a stable proof of concept, so it will not look this ugly when it is time because we will actually measure shit and do stuff correctly. But the main thing that I wanted does in fact work. So yeah, here we go. Eventually he'll teleport himself out of there. And then they'll go all the way up to the chamber at the top. We only have one up there, so keep that in mind. And they need to be open, by the way. When the bullet hits them, they can't be closed, so. But this is a working proof of concept at least. Okay, come on, dude. There we go. Not every time, but okay, that time when he was technically closed, that's annoying. Hey, come on, man. I'm gonna go into creative just so I can, like, get a couple of healing potions on him. Rude. There we go. That's 2. This is a new one with full HP now. So technically, I think I could AFK at this thing, assuming you know, things were right. I should be able to AFK at this, just to like get them all filled in. So all it would pretty much be is, you know, just sitting here. Sometimes the bullets do go through like that, but you know, it's not enough of the time to really give enough of a shit. That means I'd have to build a longer tunnel. We can do that later if I really need to, like make the tube just 1 block longer, but I don't think I really need to bother with it right now. So another teleport, that should be 3, assuming I didn't miscount yet. Does me crouching also cause issues like this? So like, if I do that, does that kind of help? Well, there's another. You teleported and cloned. Here we go. Alright. We'll try this instead, so I won't get knocked out with levitation, but, you know, I'll still be I won't be crouching. So I think that should help kind of alleviate. Oh, that was the other reason too that was there. You also can't see me now again. You'd have to wait for levitation to go out. That counts as close. Alright, we're going into creative really quickly so I can expand this tunnel part just by like 1 other block. There we go. Okay. Do something like that. proof, and then we get a little bit more redstone dust. We get a lever, our iron trap door. That's still good. And then we spawn proof our button, like so. There we go. And then, you know, if we ever want to bring one in, we would basically just put it here. We would break some of these glass blocks with silk touch. We would drive the boat into that little area, and we would back into that corner. And then we would just get out of the boat, get behind it, and then just break the boat, and it should snap onto that quartz, and then we just place back. But you know, we need to place back. And as long as we don't have any spawn proofing inside on those breakable glass blocks that we would need to break, we honestly shouldn't have anything to worry about. So yeah, cool. Good farm alert. Or potentially good farming. And if we wanted to get up here, we would just literally have like a small like staircase. So hopefully with this being an extra block in length, we should have a lot better consistency with the bullets turning around correctly. And you can see it like where, now not all the time, but enough of the time. Okay, that's just rude. He did it again. Why don't I just use a fucking full block like a non-idiot? What? Why have I been doing a slab this whole time? I can spawn proof this. Or like 4 extra buttons. Like, yeah, like what? And then I would just have a button here on the ceiling and boom, we're good. Here we go. Come on. Why now? What? Not 100%. We put it on. Did we put it on the ceiling? Like, alright, here it's on the floor. Okay, definitely not on the floor, because that was just, that's too consistent, so. Could a half slab be better? No, I guess not. I mean, it does work, it's just weird how inconsistent it's being today. What the fuck? It hasn't been this bad before. It has not been this bad before. Like, it looks like it wants to kind of turn around sometimes, but... And then I float up a little bit, and then it actually has to, like, go up to readjust, so... There we go, something like that should be okay. Yeah, I guess not, you dig. Oh, I wonder if it's because of the button. I don't normally use buttons in the like kind of chamber here. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I've never used buttons in them. As far as I'm aware, they don't spawn on the tops of these. I think. They don't like spawning on the top of these. That seems like it's helped at least, so that's good. Oh, my buttons might have been on the side as well. Yeah, you see how little of them are hitting me now? Oh, I just want this just to make sure none of them spawn, because we can replace these back with slabs or whatever. Oh, it does not like redstone components. Oh wow, it really does not like redstone components at all. That seems to be causing most of the issues. Because I thought it was just trapdoors, but it is certainly not just trapdoors. I put an extra button here, would that help kind of act as a better buffer, or... Okay. What the fuck? It won't teleport every time, but it should have at least pretty solid odds, so... Yeah, it was definitely because of the button on the floor. So now this is the other issue that was more of an inevitability than it was a please don't happen. So all we would do is get a shulker from another location, because we'd have this boat road coming down from like somewhere else. Namely our manual shulker farm. We would basically bring it in by boat. We would break a little bit of this glass, get the boat tucked away in that corner, break the boat, seal it back up, and then respawn proof, and then we're good to go, because they won't teleport unless they take like damage from like someone or something, so wouldn't have to worry about that. Now I'm not seeing any in the actual farm. We still have hitboxes enabled, so be able to spot it clearly. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a nice stockpile of shulkers, and basically we would just keep the farm running until this gets filled up completely is the main goal. So yeah, all we would want to do is just fill it up completely with shulkers from the shulker farm. We're gonna have all of these be just to make sure this truly works. All these are gonna be ones that were duplicated shulkers, so just to make sure there's no weird difference that I don't know about between a spawn egg and a duplicated shulker or a natural shulker. We're just gonna kind of hang out here for a while and keep an eye on stuff, I guess. But yeah, this is a good proof of concept. I feel like this would work a lot better if I planned out a little bit more. And this is harder than the villager stuff, technically, but like, as soon as you get your first shulker into the overworld, it's significantly easier than the villager ones, in my opinion. What I'm banking on. And we're not accounting for any delays that are going to be caused by having to move the shulker. Like that, again. They only do that when they get below half health, and then they have like a 25% chance of like not cloning when they teleport. So what we'll probably do is at some point we'll shoot, what was I? Oh, we'll carry more instant health potions on us, and then we'll just like throw them at like this corner here or something, just so that way we have an easier time making sure it stays healed. I'd rather waste like health potions and have to always keep carting a new shulker in every single time, so it takes 3 bullets when it's open before it gets below half from what I've been able to tell, and then you just kind of keep a note of the times it shoots itself when it's closed. Don't want the number to get too high. So that was 1 open, 1 closed. That's 2. That's 3. So now what you'd want to do is like stop the farm for a little bit, and then here, I guess we'll just do this real quick. But now what you'd want to do is stop the farm and then, just heal it up. We can install like a dispenser too somewhere if it, is absolutely necessary, but it really shouldn't be. And then that's pretty much all we would do is that. So, and then we would go back to here and then go turn the farm on again. 1, and he hits me still. It just happens a lot less frequently. And then 1 and 1. Come on, man. 1 and 2. Okay, that was a close. That was a 1 and 3. They pretty much don't do any damage to it, but it does add up over time when they shoot it while it's close. That's 2 and 3. Alright, arm goes off. And the reason that glass block is there as well is because it stops it from hurting itself, like when there's spare bullets in the chamber here. So if there's spare bullets in this chamber and that glass block didn't get pushed out, it'd still be able to shoot itself when the farm is off. And then if it's still aggroed and still tries to shoot at me while this glass block is out, it literally physically cannot hit itself. So that means it won't take any damage, and then that gives me enough time to go in and heal it. I only need to launch like 1 or 2 healing potions, by the way. I just spam them now because I'm in creative, so I can afford to do it better. But we're getting some bad RNGs, what this is, so hopefully we get some better RNG. Yeah, we're having a hard time with it. I think it was 3. We'll let 1 more. Oh, he teleported, so actually we're good. So he cloned, so that means it's okay. Come on. I got to see if I can work a way to get more scaffolding here. Because that might help with, getting some better spawns, but yeah, we still are getting them to duplicate and whatnot, so that's good. 1 and 1. 2 and 1. Teleport. Wait, we got an issue. I just saw it out in the distance. So this guy is not supposed to be here. And this also does interfere with the rates of the farm as well, because, they're spawning in spots that... Oh, I have these blocked out. This also definitely doesn't help me, obviously, because that's blocking up, potential spawning spaces. I didn't need to be blocked out. That one can be blocked. Same with that one. These can all stay blocked, but, Oh yeah, all the new shit that I put in is fucking blocked because I wasn't paying attention. Oh yeah, so... that doesn't help, obviously. So we're gonna go in and get rid of all these extra buttons. There's quite a lot of them, too, that need to go. Yeah, that's definitely been hurting our rates a little bit, so... especially some of the ones that are actually closer. Luckily, everything here should be cleaned up. We'll go ahead and hunt back here. Have all of our spawn proofing done. There shouldn't be any difference between spawned or duplicated shulkers in terms of if this will work or not, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it, but we'll see what we can do. It's been 3.5 hours. At least this isn't taking too long, though, to be fair. Now that we've gotten a lot of the kinks worked out in terms of the chamber, and then we've given it enough spawning spaces for it to go pretty damn quick in terms of how many it clones. That's good. Alright, we're gonna have to heal it here in a moment. We'll let it get one more full shot on itself, and then if it isn't open for it. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Alrighty, so if that were to happen, then all we would do again is just bring in our new shoulder. And we won't be bringing in through the top like this. I only do this kind of creative. You know, like I've already talked about, we would just bring it in by boat, so it'd be pretty easy to do. Bullets are awfully indecisive sometimes, though. It should not be that indecisive. That one lasted way too long. Okay, it hit itself 3 times and it'll hit itself a 4. Go ahead and heal him up. Okay, what the fuck? Alright, man, come on. If we really wanted to as well, we can definitely slot in a dispenser above the shulker where that top last block is that I keep breaking. Because we won't be breaking that in survival when we do this for real, so we can put a bunch of instant health 2 potions in there so that way we know for a fact that they actually hit them. It should help out a little bit. Okay, come on. He fucking shoots at me and then he immediately closes. And then he fucking does it again. Come on. Come on, dude. Why does... They don't do that normally, too. They're being particularly shit today. There we go. Maybe break that dry spell. There we go. Still quicker than the villager one, to be fair, because I'd have to wait for 70 villagers to, you know, be in a breeder. So, I mean, hey, I'll take it. I wonder if I hit F3. You only have 35, it looks like. And the bullets do count as entities as well, so after this one clones. Or I guess it doesn't clone. Here, let's go ahead and pop up to the top here, see what we get. Now, you can see how sparse it is, but... Okay, so over enough time it would work, so that's good at least. We'll just wait for this for the rest of today, just to absolutely make sure this would work, and then I know I can build something better in the next one, the next stream. But I just want to make sure this mob switch is completely functional, with naturally like duplicated shulkers. That's the main goal here. Obviously we can spawn them in, I just don't know if there's a difference between a natural one and a spawned in one, but I don't think there is, so yeah. And obviously we did see that the actual mob switch does work when I showed it off earlier in terms of just having a box. And in fact, it works too well here because it's in a spawn chunk, which is an issue that, you know, means we can't turn it off. So, you know, we'll have to use a non-spawn chunk and one that I don't go to too often. And then we'll, you know, have a minecart chunk loader. We'll probably have the minecart chunk loader in a portal that's relatively close to my base, maybe only about like 1,000 blocks away in the overworld. Just so that way I have easy access to the nether portal up there for that chunk loader in case anything were to... So, yeah. Okay, now cool. Also, there's definitely a few with a spawn egg that we've like gotten mixed into there. So. Oh wait, one way we can test this without actually having to wait for all this, because a lot of these are duplicated, what we can do is we can go ahead and like manually fill in the rest here with, shulkers, and then because the majority of these are duplicated, if the mob switch works, then we'll know for a fact that the duplication ones do work, because they weren't, spawned with an egg, obviously. I don't know which ones were spawned by duplication now that I'm filling all of them in like this, but we will at least know that, we'll know enough to kind of piece shit together, so. Okay. That's not what we want to do, by the way. That'll never happen in survival, so we don't ever want to replicate that again. I think as long as there's no NBT tag, there shouldn't be a way for the game to really tell which ones are like duplicated and which ones are spawned in with a spawn egg or like naturally spawning. Alright. So this is one that's completely filled in. Just to confirm, we are still on hard. We'll go up to here. /time set midnight. So we got about half of them in before, But yeah, no mobs. Oh, we definitely left some bats in here. This is some of the earliest prototypes of me figuring this shit out. Yeah, we have a lot of bat spawns, if nothing else. Like an unholy amount of bat spawns, good god. Especially in places like this, we make it a lot. But you can... Oh, see, now we're actually too far away. So if we take a look at the F3 menu, we have 1 out of 9 entities, but at the same time, I think they're kind of in... They're not in lazy chunks, but... Or at least I don't know if they're in lazy chunks or not. But we should be seeing mob spawns if they weren't in spawn chunks, but they are in spawn chunks, so... I think they say permanently loaded. They're just not rendered like that if they're not in spawn chunks, so... If we had built it like way out like 500 blocks that way, it'd be a different story, but... I think now that they're loaded, so that's why the entity counter up there is at 83, but then we back up enough, and now it's at 6. So 83, 6, 83, 6, and it's probably just a rendering thing is all. It's just within like range of render and simulation distance. Which is why that's like that if I had to guess. But because they're still there in spawn chunks, they're always like kind of like secretly loaded for lack of a better term, so... And then, if we did slash... We do /kill, then boom. So yeah, this does work. And it does work with duplicated ones as well that come from shulker bullet duplication, so yeah, we know that now. That's great, because that's going to be important stuff to do when we make that mob switch later on down the line. But that is going to have to do it for me today. It's been 3 hours, 45 minutes, and I'd like to go do other stuff for tonight. So I know half of this was in a creative world, the other half was in, that hardcore world, but, I am still trying to, like, figure out certain, like, tech things specifically to get this done. So we did get a good bit of shit done today. Got all of our tadpoles that we need for our Froglight farm next episode. We finished our mountain range with the basic like outline framework that we needed to do, so we can start terraforming here very soon after I really pick out a nice block palette. Maybe I'll be inspired by some shit on Reddit. Who fucking knows? But we've also gone ahead and completely made sure that the proof of concept for a shulker based mob switch that uses a fission chamber at the bottom would work. So that means once you get one shulker in the overworld, and you get your how do you get here achievement, and your shulker farm set up, then you can just like make that machine that we just made basically, and automatically with a little bit of input here and there, you'll be able to like build up for a mob switch. So instead of having to breed 70 villagers, and then if you're playing on a multiplayer server, instead of having to breed like, you know, how many players are going to be on time, 70 plus 1, you only just need to have that shulker farm running, so it'll be automatic, and it should be quicker in the long run compared to doing the like trade with a villager, zombify, and then leaving a box one. And also that one might get patched out at some point. Maybe not, who knows, but I know the shulker one has been around since 1.9 for God's sake, so for this to get, you know, patched out would probably not happen. And if it does, no big deal. I don't really need a mob switch, but it is definitely kind of nice. So, but yeah, been a pretty successful day today with getting some basic shit done. So next time we'll get the Froglight farm done and dusted. I'll probably refine the shulker farm a little bit more in that creative world, and then probably start gathering some stuff to build it. And then we'll I don't know from there, because that terraform is going to take a long time. Maybe we'll try finishing the rest of the buildings in the village, because I'm getting near part 100 and I'd like to take some pictures for it. So, but maybe for day 1000 instead of part 100. So who knows? Because they won't be in sync anymore, as far as I can tell. Because we're only on like 926 and it's part 95. So yeah. Either way, thank you guys again for watching. I've rambled on long enough, and I hope to see y'all again next time. So yeah.